And we're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Aranthea's Awakening, a D&D 5e live stream dungeon mastered by me, Arch. Hi. And let's go around, see who our players are, and then I'll do a quick recap, and then we're going to do a bunch of stupid shit because this is D&D. So to the immediate right of me is the wonderful Kyle.
Hi.
Kyle, who are you? What do you play?
I'm Kyle. I will be playing Professor Elwin Silvermane.
Sounds like a nerd.
I am a high elf wizard extraordinaire. Minus the extraordinaire part.
Working on it.
Right.
And to the right of Kyle, that's you, Neil.
Oh, hi.
I didn't
I'm
see
Neil.
you there.
And I didn't see you there. I play Ilo. That's all.
Cool. All right. Sure. And to the immediate right, the internet goes stagnant image because no webcam.
Yay, that's me. Yep, I play Zai, who is a Dragonborn fighter.
Hooray.
Yep.
So, to kick it off, last time we found our three separate individuals, not quite adventurers at the time, converging on Shayla's, a small town located within Midwood. Let me try to center that a little bit more for you guys on the live stream there. There we go. So we found our three adventurers in Shayla's, a small, pretty well-established town in Midwood, mostly dabbling in the hunting of animals and the use of their various parts in different aspects. The three adventurers had gotten together under the whim of one Tumal. Was it Redblade or?
It was Redblade.
Yeah, Tumal Redblade, the master of Zykirin, in order to have all three of them come together and seemingly fix some issues that are arising in the world. However, at their current power level, they're really not fit for it. So they were sent to the Adventurers Guild called the Free Company in Shayla's, where they attempted to join up, met with Madame Grish, who was a very interesting fortune teller of sorts. She basically did a reading of all three of them and found that they had potential, but they needed to be tested. The three of you were then told that if you wished to proceed with the trial, that there is a hunt coming up the day after tomorrow, as he said. And if you can successfully slay a dire beast, you were given the choice of either a dire boar, dire bear, or a dire wolf, and can successfully bring back proof of its demise, then you would be permitted into the guild.
Yeah, we chose the easy one.
Right, the dire boar. The three of you then
die.
went about your own personal choices of how to prepare for the coming hunt. Eli decided to go and purchase a hunting trap, as well as a ground spike with which to ensnare the beast.
I think he also tried to get some bait, but wasn't exactly successful on that.
He was...
He got information, but finding the product was where he fell a little bit short.
Right. There is... Yes, you found information about the animal, what it eats, which you found out to be they particularly enjoy mushrooms. Zai spent the day creating a small portable forge and cleansing and refining the various blades that Ilo wields. And Ilo spent the day attempting to wrangle a boar with the intent to collect its urine to attempt to attract the bigger boar which resulted in the consumption and use of a D12 Bardic Inspiration die from the stream, which made it succeed, funny enough. And we ended with the three of you sitting in your temporary chambers within the Free Company building, basically preparing for the following day. So, it's currently a little bit after sundown. The sun has gone down, let's say, within the last hour. There is not that much activity going on within the town at this point. Everyone is locking up for the night, packing up, and getting ready to go home. You three are currently in your chambers, which is basically just one set up for... Oh, God.
D10 hype and some D4s,
Oh,
I
God.
guess.
What?
Just thank you very much for the $15 donation.
Oh, nice.
D10 hype and some D4s, I guess. Who is getting what?
I'll take a D4 because I still have my other two.
This is important because I need to change it.
Okay. Yep, I have a D4.
Well then, I wasn't expecting that. Everyone is getting one of each. Wow. Okay.
Nice. That's awesome.
Doo-doo-doo. Yeah. 4, 8, 12. And then 3 D. Yeah, so everybody's getting a D10 and a D4.
Holy crap.
Okay.
Oh, so we get one. We get both.
So let me mark that down. So all three of you have a D10, and all of you have a D4.
Can you guys just start using my dice?
I mean, you do currently have the largest accumulation.
I think the only one I'm missing is a D8, if that one exists.
Yeah, you're missing a D8, and that's it. Oh my god. Thank you so much, Jess. Right, so, you three are in your room. Is there anything that you guys would like to do before bed, or shall we continue on?
Are we picking up like right where we left off last time, or is there like a little bit of a time gap?
We're
Time
picking up right where we left off, so you guys are currently all accumulated in your room. It's
Okay.
nighttime.
Okay, cool.
You liking those knives a little better, Ilo?
I do, thank you.
You can actually call them knives now.
All right.
Good joke.
Yeah. Eli just kind of goes and sits down, kind of unsure of how to take this joke, as Isla has put it.
Which one? The knife one or the dwarf one?
The dwarf one.
There is that. That did happen last time.
Yeah. It happened.
Good night.
Yep, see y'all in the morning.
Okay.
So with that, all three of you turn in for the night, settling into your comfy beds, knowing that the following day is going to bode hopefully quite well for you three.
Hopefully.
The night goes by uneventful, and morning comes around. At dawn, just as the sun is beginning to rise, you are aroused from your sleep by a knock on the door.
Yeah, who's there?
It is I. I just came to make sure that the three of you were awake and ready for your hunt. It actually began about half an hour ago, but
Oh,
I who?
we are aroused.
David,
From our-
it's
from our
Daedalus.
Oh, okay. Yep, we're up.
Very well.
Eli is like, he's like sitting in a chair off on the side, like drinking like a morning cup of like tea. Like, good morning, sleepyheads. I was wondering when you all would finally get up.
Look, some of us actually enjoy our sleep.
Well, he just kind of shrugs. I don't sleep. I'm sorry.
You should try it sometime. It's great.
That's just crazy.
Well, you know, us elves don't. We just meditate. So, I've been up for some time. Figured I'd do some studying, some light reading, and by light reading, he has like one of his big books just planted in front of him.
Of course he does.
Well, shall we? He motions towards the door.
I'm ready.
Yeah, may as well.
So the three of you make your way out of the room, and standing outside the door, you see Daedalus, the current leader of the guild, the wood elf who you had only just met yesterday, or day before yesterday.
Right.
And he's standing there with a small, like a small fold-up table, and on it there's what appears to be a small silver tray that appears to have some strips of jerky, some glasses of water.
Oh.
And he just kind of gestures at it and says, "You best eat on the go if you're planning on catching up and getting to where you need to be in time. It is a bit of a trek to reach the dire grounds."
Yeah.
Well,
Do we know what the dire grounds are?
Yes, you were given directions that the dire grounds are essentially northwest of Shayla's, roughly between Ostermere and the Emberscar Grove.
Oh, right, I remember.
So to get there is probably going to take you guys about half a day.
oh wow. Well, shall we move on?
Sure.
It seems that we have some making up to do.
Yeah.
He'll grab some of the rations, and if there is any left over, he will grab them and save them for later.
It's
We'll put them in his
basically one
bag.
per.
Okay.
So assuming everybody takes it, there won't be any left unless someone's passing up.
No, I'm eating.
Yeah, I'll eat too.
Okay.
So the three of you grab your small rations of food, grab the water, down it as you're walking out, and make your way out into Shayla's. Even at this early time of day, Shayla's is far more awake with... like, there's an energy to the air. You see far more people on the streets than you would expect even during the high time of the day. Many of them appear to be merchants and just stalls that have opened up far earlier than normal. A lot of them appear to be selling what looks like hunting equipment or just like little concession stands with various, almost like carnival foods. There's a lot of fried foods, a lot of easy to make and easy to upcharge food.
Oh man, making me hungry now.
There appear to be several villagers that are just going about their business. You do see several children that are running about, laughing and happy, eating various foods. Even in the air, like, there's a very sweet smell of what seems to be drying and cooked meats. And you notice that there are also a fair number of people that seem to be walking out of the town. And pretty much all of them have either a long bow, a short bow, a pike, several spears, javelins, Some of them appear to be carrying what look like chains, sickles that are attached to some of these chains. Even a few of them appear to be carrying, I can't remember what the term is. I think it's a B. Ebola? No, what the...
The balls on the end of ropes?
Yeah, the balls on the end of the rope where you throw it and it tangles.
Yeah, they're bolas.
Bolas,
okay.
yeah.
That's cool.
And they all appear to be hunters that are currently setting out on their hunt as well. What are you guys doing?
Eli is like taking this all in. He's very the whole energy of the area is just he's highly enjoying. He's kind of like he's got a little pep in his step. He's just kind of taking in everything. He's smiling.
Think we should just follow them.
It seems that like they're all heading in the same direction that we are going to be.
I'm at a food stand.
Surprise.
Ilo. Oh goodness, we lost him.
You see Ilo standing maybe, let's say, what's your move speed, Ilo?
30. I have a normal move speed, I believe.
All right. Let's say you see Ilo roughly like about 100 feet away, standing in front of this food cart. And there is this big, burly-looking man, big, scruffy black beard, bald on the head, though. Big, bulbous nose with many broken blood vessels. And he looks down at you and he goes, "Hold on, are you disguised?"
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask him.
I'm holding gold out to him.
Okay. He looks down at you and he goes,
One, please.
One, please. Eli comes I'll say rushing, but as fast as an old man can rush.
Hobbling.
Yeah. You're not hobbling, but yeah.
Sure. Strange little lizard
I know.
fella.
Ilo, sorry, he wasn't bothering you, was he? Ilo, you can't be running off alone like that.
The guy looks at you, looks down at Ilo, and then just takes the gold from Ilo's hand, which he's charging for the food that he's giving out. It's like 1 gold.
And how much is he taking from Ilo?
How much is Ilo holding?
Just a gold.
Oh, okay.
Just a gold?
Yeah, just a gold.
All right, then he takes the gold coin. He opens up the cart, reaches inside, and pulls out what appears to be some sort of tail of an animal on a stick that looks to have been deep fried.
Delicious.
And he hands it over to you and just kind of gives you a look like, there you go. Happy hunting.
Thank you.
Thank you. I know you. You didn't. You know that you didn't disguise yourself, right?
Oh, do I still need to do that?
I mean, not for us, but remember, not a lot of people are used to seeing a kobold. Maybe don't run off by yourself. It would be a shame if someone were to think you were some savage little beast.
So what do you think? I think you make one of those now.
Are you eating?
I'm like taking bites of it and studying it and all of the good stuff.
So, make a intelligence check.
Oh gosh. It's gonna be a fucking kobold tell.
16.
Yeah.
So, chomping into this and just kind of like slowly chewing it, savoring it, trying to get all of the hints of the different flavors. It's definitely deep fried. It's kind of chewy, but with that nice satisfying crunch to it from the frying. And it seems to be based on your understanding of flavors and taste. It seems like it's the tail of some sort of reptile.
You can finish this.
Oh, I can. That's nice of you.
Is
I
there
take it
some
and
sort
start
of
eating it.
Oh god. Is there some sort of like intelligence, like knowledge, some sort of thing that I could roll to see if I recognized what this was?
Sure. Make a nature check.
Nature,
For
nature.
you, Zai, biting
Oh, I
into
don't
this,
care.
it's very good. It tastes really good.
Sweet. Hey, this is really good.
This is some really good carnival food. And that's saying something considering you were living in the capital of Dwarven Kingdom where carnivals weren't that uncommon. Well, depending on the holiday. That's a 20. Okay. Eli, you looking over the tail end of this creature as Zai is chomping into it with vigor.
I mean, I'm like looking at it and looking at Ilo, and kind of comparing.
Okay, so you first of all realize it is not the tail of a kobold.
Okay. Okay. There is a nice like sigh of relief then.
You are aware that in the Midwood regions within these forests, there are, from what you've read, there is a large species of reptile that tends to live high in the canopies of the trees.
Okay.
From what you understand, because nature wasn't your main study,
Right.
so it wasn't that much of a big deal, but from what you can recall, they're generally pretty big, though. Like, they're from tail end to nose, they're usually like 10 feet long.
Oh boy.
Like,
okay.
these are very big reptiles, but they're harmless. Good for
Right.
food. Very good for food, because there's a lot, but they really don't bother anybody. The most that they'll end up doing is accidentally eating somebody's pet cat.
Oh, gotcha. Eli puts a hand on Ilo's shoulder. Don't worry. It's not what you think it. Really, it's not what I thought it was either.
What did you think it was?
He just looks down at your tail. I was afraid
it's
that
just
you
done
were
with it.
eating. Well,
Eating what?
I was afraid that it might be a kobold tail, and
Oh,
that would have been quite.
why would anyone do that?
Well, some people might find it appetizing.
No, look. And I press to digitize your bacon, was it? The jerky?
Yeah.
To taste like that.
Oh.
To taste like the reptile?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Eli,
okay.
you bite into the jerky. It tastes pretty good. Assuming that Eli would be into fried meats.
I think that he probably hasn't had it before.
I leave it up to you whether or not it's something he would enjoy.
I think he's interested in it. I'll try it, and he'll like take a bite of it and crunchy, interesting.
See, I didn't need to eat anymore.
Slimy yet satisfying.
Yeah,
You learn to
there you
love
go.
it, kid.
Oh man. I don't think he's made up his mind on whether he likes it, but he's kind of like munching on it and thinking like, it's not bad. I've never had anything like this before.
Yeah, he'll hold the spell until you tell him not to, so it'll just be like that unless you yell at him.
No, that's fine. He would probably actually finish it.
Okay.
One of those things like the more he eats it, the more he likes it.
Ilo runs up onto the shoulder of the large dragonborn and just sits there. You hardly even notice he's there. Disperses his weight pretty evenly. He just sits there, like it's nothing. Like this is normal.
Well, gentlemen, shall we make our way? We can't get distracted too many times.
Yeah. I guess it's about time to go.
I like how Zykirin is slowly developing a southern accent. I appreciate it.
He was supposed to start with it, I just didn't have it down last week.
That's okay. I approve. So you guys begin making your way out of the town. heading roughly in a northwestern direction. You notice that as you're traveling out, there are very, very few people that are heading in the same direction as you. Many of the hunters you can see as they're walking out into the woods are heading north, east, or south. There's a few people walking in the same direction that you are. I'm going to say Zai because it makes the most sense that you would notice it. Make a perception.
That is a 6.
Okay. So looking around at some of these people as they're walking out into the woods in the same direction as you guys, a lot of these people, you're wondering, why the fuck are these people walking out here? They don't really look like they belong hunting these kind of creatures.
I do want to look at their weapons, check their quality. Just something I do whenever I pass people with weapons.
Sure.
Which is a thing I can just do.
From a distance, I feel like it's going to be a little bit harder.
Okay.
If you were holding it, I would say sure, but...
Okay, that's fair.
Because you're essentially trying to appraise something without touching it. Give me a... Intelligence with proficiency.
Intelligence plus 2. 16.
Looking at these hunters as they're heading out towards the dire grounds, as it seems to be termed, a lot of these hunters appear to have very finely crafted weaponry. You notice that several of them are wielding longbows that seem to have been made from a very fine wooden material. You're not quite as familiar with the wood used within Midwood itself, but whatever the material is, it looks very sturdy and probably has a very hard drawback. Which, for a bow, is very good if you can wield it.
Yeah.
The melee weapons that they appear to be wielding are generally long weapons, anything that has a reach or can be thrown. It seems these people are at least well associated enough with the hunt to know you don't get in melee range with these things.
It's really good to know for me.
Quality-wise, though, they all look very sturdy. Several of them seem to be carrying multiples of the same weapon, though. Which, from your experience, is generally an indication of them knowing they're either going to lose some of them or they're going to break.
With confidence, mine's not going to break.
So, you continue walking for the next few hours, making your way northwest, following the general direction where you believe these grounds to be. Occasionally trying to keep eye on some of these other hunters as they ventured out. A lot of them have split off in various directions, assumably to find their own little hunting stakeout spot or wherever it is that they believe there may be creatures. By the time you've reached roughly where you believe to be the dire grounds, it's been about, let's say, 6 hours of walking.
Oh boy.
Off in the distance to the west, not that far off, you can see the remnants of the Emberscar Grove. You can see the dead husks of long burnt trees just kind of standing up as if claws reaching for the sky. There's still small wafts of what looks like black smoke rising up. Yeah, that's about all you're really seeing. There's trees as far as the eye can see. What's the plan?
Well, I think our plan moving forward should be to find some sort of area to set up our trap. Maybe if we can, if one of us is proficient with some sort of tracking skill, we could find maybe the tracks or droppings of one of these diobores. Find it and maybe set our trap. I think
What?
from then we need to stay back. It seems that these things are not creatures that we want to get up and personal with.
Well, I have some practice with tracking, but can't say I'm super great at it.
I can say the same. Isla, what about you?
I was on a boat.
Ah, that would make sense. Maybe you're better tracking things out on the ocean.
Hmm. I can think of if I've heard anything that might help us. Hmm.
Let's see.
Let me think about it.
Yes, let us think.
So, Ilo, you're trying to essentially see if you can recall anything that may be of use?
Anything about where boars might be found? If I've heard a story with any detail that might suggest where boars like to be.
Nature check.
Okay. By the way, these intelligence rolls are just great because I have a -1 to intelligence. That's a 4.
Okay.
I mean, Eli could be like maybe looking through like one of his books that he brought to see if he found anything in there. To kind of be doing sort of the same thing.
And I will do that tracking thing that was mentioned.
Okay. So, Arch, do you want a nature check from me as well?
Yes, please.
And a survival from me.
Yes, please. Don't forget, you guys do have dice.
Yeah.
Several of them.
Yeah, but those are so bad.
Yeah. God. I don't think I want to like waste a die on such a low roll.
I mean, that's what Ilo ended up doing. With
Hey, Ilo,
the Borpy.
Mm-hmm.
you have anything that we could use to just like bring one to us since none of us know where to start looking?
I mean, we can try to set the trap here and just, use the scents and stuff.
How long did that Dayless folks say we had till the hunt ended?
Does anyone remember?
Ooh. Oh, man.
It was mentioned.
I know.
Yeah, but that was a week ago.
About a week ago.
That
What
is something I did not write down.
What about you, magical DM person?
I don't remember.
Ilo does not remember.
All right, because at least one of you would have been, I hope, paying attention. The hunt roughly takes about 3 days.
Okay.
So in that time, you've spent half of a day so far getting here.
It was like
Right.
half a week or something like that. Anyway, if this doesn't work out right away, we can keep looking later.
Yes, I can make more of the scent. We won't throw it out or anything. So, we can trap it whenever.
That's fair enough. Well, let's try and set up a trap and get this scent going.
Okay.
Maybe if we can find an area that's slightly cleared out. That way we don't have many obstacles in our way.
Okay.
Make a survival, Eli.
Ooh, not bad. 18.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't take you very long. Maybe half an hour of just walking and looking around before you're able to find what seems like a decent-sized clearing. It's maybe like a 15 by 15 area with some with trees ringing the area. There's sunlight shining down through the canopy in between. Seems like a pretty good spot. And actually on your 18, you can see that it looks like there may have been a herd of something nesting here at some point.
Ooh.
Or just resting for an evening.
Okay.
But you're not sure what.
Gentlemen, over here. This area looks prime for what we need to do. I can also see some sort of tracks, but I can't really pinpoint what they are. But we might have us a very prime spot to set up our trap.
Can I look at the traps? Tracks.
Sure. Make a investigation. You're just trying to identify it. You're not trying to follow them.
6. No, I'm not trying to follow him. I could follow him.
It looks like something had slept here at some point.
Cool. Yes, something was sleeping here.
Well, I say
let's-
we set up in those trees right over there, and if there's nothing by tonight, we can just keep watch and camp out over there. Maybe they'll come back.
I think that sounds like a good idea.
Okay, you want to do like your metal trap first?
Yes, I think we should try to set up the trap. Maybe cover it with some brush and whatnot to hide it. I was able to procure a few mushrooms and berries and whatnot. It's not very much, but maybe that combined with the scent that you have acquired, we can lure them here.
Okay. So you
Yeah.
set up your trap.
Yeah, Eli will definitely need help, like driving the spike in the ground, though.
Ah, yeah, I'm gonna help you with that.
I cannot help you with that.
Yeah, he'll set it up. He'll have Zai drive the spike in. While he's doing that, Eli is grabbing sticks and leaves and just whatever to cover it up.
If I get near that, it will cut me into 2 things. So,
Oh God, Ilo, maybe you should stay away. This thing could probably cut you in half.
I'm over here.
Okay, good.
So where are you setting this up? In the middle of the clearing itself?
Probably closer to where he saw the tracks. But I mean, he does want it to be in this clearing, like in maybe towards the center. But if the tracks were not exactly in the center, he may decide otherwise.
Well, based on what you guys saw, the tracks just were interspersed. It was like this
Okay.
was a resting area, so there's signs everywhere of life. Just
Okay, yeah, then he would definitely put it in the center. That way we have a better shot at it. We have better sight of it.
all right. So Eli, you take out the hunting trap and the chain with the spike. Go into the center of the clearing, and it takes you some effort. You kind of just sing that. And then it just sits there, very precarious and scary looking,
Yeah.
just sitting.
Yeah, like he is like maybe I should have put the food out before. Oh, I know. And he just like mage hands, like, and he puts the food around it, not making sure to not like actually. He doesn't want to put the food like on the
pressure
trigger plate.
Yeah.
But he wants to place it all around what little food that he was able to procure. And then he'll just kind of like throw some leaves and junk on there.
All right, you do that. You attach the chain,
Yeah.
and are you doing the spike?
I am doing the spike.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so Zai, give me a strength check.
That is a 10.
Would you like to use your dice?
I will use a d6
Go for
Do it.
for an extra 2.
it. Okay. All right, that is the d6 used. All right, so you will say you take out your blacksmithing hammer, go over to the spike, and just very carefully, bink, bink, jink, and knock the spike through the chain into the ground. Seems sturdy, seems like it should hold.
Very good, very good. And
I'm
now,
gonna play in the dirt near that. So prestidigitation can have the effect on 3 I can have 3 effects at a time. And each one covers 1 cubic foot. So essentially I have 3 cubic feet deep and wide of urine-scented dirt that I am going to use. I'm going to sit and cast as ritual. I think it takes, 10 minutes to do that?
Yeah, it's 10 minutes longer, so if it has a casting time of 1 action, then 10 minutes.
Right.
Yes, so I take the 10 minutes to cast Unseen Servant, and then I have the Unseen Servant go and spin around in the dirt and throw the dirt around into the wind
Oh my God.
for an unprecedented amount of time.
Okay. Roll me just a straight d20. For the record, where are you guys?
Eli is probably gone to, like, behind a tree or like. How big are the trees in this area?
Fairly decent sized.
Like big enough for us to get in?
No, not that big.
Okay.
I'd probably be up around Isla.
Yeah, I'd be further back.
Where are you and Ilo? I think I may have missed
I'm close to the trap. Like,
that. In the clearing or in a tree, behind a tree?
wherever the trap is. So
In the
I'm
middle of the
assuming,
clearing.
In the middle of the clearing.
Well, yeah, I set all of that stuff up in the middle of the clearing, and then I'll retreat to the tree line.
Okay. And that's a 13. So, Zai and Ilo, are you attempting to hide yourselves?
Yeah.
And
I guess.
Eli as well, right?
Yeah, he's trying to hide behind a tree.
Alright. All 3 of you give me stealth checks with advantage.
Oh, good. I get a normal stealth check.
So 17 or 14. So yeah, 17 for Eli.
Yeah, that's a 13.
21.
Damn. How did you do that? Oh, okay, that's cool.
Okay.
I see that button up there now.
Anybody using their dice?
I rolled a 21.
Double checking to make sure before I start rolling anything.
No, I'm not. I think a 17 was good enough for Eli.
Alright.
Famous last words.
Fine, I'll use a d10.
Okay. Onyx using
Or another
Oh
2.
my
10.
God.
Wow.
See, this is why I don't like dice. I never get anything good out of any dice ever.
So it's a 15 total. Alright. Well, let's see.
Well, why did you...
Because it defaults to disadvantage. It's normal.
Oh,
But that 13 is what I would have gotten.
okay.
Okay.
My heavy armor gives me disadvantage.
Oh yeah, that's
So,
right.
The 3 of you, after setting up the trap and scattering about the odeur de bois, sit back and wait, trying to conceal your presences as best as possible. It takes a very long time. About 4 hours have gone by. At this point, you can see the sun is starting to get a bit low. There's still light enough for you all to see, but you figure you've got maybe an hour left of daylight before you really need to be either camping or attempting to make some sort of arrangement. All 3 of you give me a perception check.
I'm asleep.
You're sleeping?
Sleeping.
Okay, no perception check. Right now. 18 and 17, wow.
I decided that if we have to stay up and keep watch on this trap, I'm gonna get my sleep in now.
Well, good thing your companions are better at this.
Yeah.
Eli and Ilo, since you both opted to actually stay awake for this endeavor, in the distance you can hear what sounds like some sort of creature not at all being stealthy as it's making its way through the woods. You can hear what sounds like snorting and grunting. You can hear the occasional snapping of twigs and branches. At one point, you hear what sounds like something scraping against wood. And not even a few moments later, you see on the opposite end of this clearing from where you currently are a very, very large boar. It is about 8 feet from ground to top of its back.
Oh, God.
That's very big.
Lengthwise, it's roughly probably about a good 10, 12 feet long.
Holy shit. God.
Your best estimation is that the tusks sticking out of this thing are roughly the size of Ilo.
Oh, boy.
Glad I can't see this.
And you can just hear it snorting and grunting, and just slightly peeking out from behind the tree, you can see it cautiously approaching where the trap with the food and
Oh,
de bois is.
Eli... well, go ahead.
I'm gonna tap you awake.
Yeah, well, like, are both of us mage hand tapping him awake?
Yeah.
I'm at both shoulders at the same time, just...
I just kind of blink and look up.
Like,
Point.
I don't think, like, Eli is watching it. He's, like, tapping him without breaking eye contact with the boar.
I brushed the hand away.
I point with mage hand.
I'll turn around and look, and then see it.
You see as described.
It's like, well, damn, that's a big boar.
Eli, like, slowly turns to look at you guys, just puts a finger up right in front of his lips. Just shh.
I give a thumbs up.
The boar at this point is maybe 5 feet away from the trap, just going...
Eli is going to wait until if it gets in the trap and the trap is sprung, he's gonna have a firebolt. He's that's what he's waiting for, is for the trap to spring to see if it catches it or not, and if it does, he'll plan to either lob a firebolt or potentially another spell. I haven't quite decided. Actually, I got a first level. I'm preparing to cast sleep on it. Is what I'm getting ready to do.
Okay.
Which has a range of 90 feet.
Okay, I'm getting ready to run out there.
Alright, are you readying an action?
Me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright.
In case for it to get trapped or the trap to get set off and it not get trapped.
Okay. Ilo?
I am on Zai's shoulders.
So you go where he
And-
goes.
Yes, and I have a knife and a dagger in my hand. One of my ones from my quiver thing.
Okay.
Quiver of knives.
Sounds like a spell.
You hear more. And within 10 seconds of you all readying, preparing, tensing up, waiting, you hear tink, and then you just hear and you can hear this boar thrashing and screaming in pain. What is the DC on that?
Like
Oh,
12.
God, it was like 12 or 13 maybe. You sent it to us last week.
It is a hunting trap. It should be in the SRD.
Hunting trap. It is dexterity save for 13.
It fails.
Ho ho!
So remind me what that does.
Okay, a creature that steps on the plate must succeed a 13 saving throw.
Which
it takes 1d4 piercing damage and it stops moving. Thereafter, until the creature breaks free of the trap, its movement is limited by the length of the chain, typically 3 feet long.
Yep.
A creature can use its action to make a DC 13 strength check to break free. Each failed check deals 1 piercing damage to the trapped creature.
Okay. Roll a d4 for me then, Eli. To see how much damage the trap does.
Oh,
4 damage. Nice.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
Is it dead?
Oh, boy.
And I need everybody to roll initiative, please.
All right.
You will have a surprise round.
Shit.
You attempted to use a command looking
Just
for the value.
dexterity check.
Just do a dexterity check.
Okay. Oh my god. We all did
That's a
real
6.
good.
Zai, you have a 2. Ilo with a 9. And an 8 for Eli. Man, first initiative rolls of the campaign, guys. Y'all rolling
Boy.
like shit. Alright,
Oh,
so...
boy.
I've been doing that since the beginning of the campaign.
Surprise round, the dire boar does not get to do anything. Because it's a surprise round. It is currently ensnared and screaming in pain from the trap. Ilo.
Okay.
You get to go first. You are still on Zai's shoulders.
How far away is it?
From you guys right now, it's roughly about 20 feet away. It's in the center
Oh,
of the clearing,
beautiful.
and you guys were hiding behind the tree line.
Okay. I will, first of all, tell my unseen servant that's throwing dirt around.
Uh-huh.
He just yells,
The unseen servant's no longer there.
oh, is
The
it not there
duration's only
anymore?
an hour.
Oh, well, I would have been casting it. It's fine. I'll throw a dagger at it then. $22 to hit
That will absolutely hit.
for 4 damage.
Okay. Okay. You pull out a dagger, peek around the tree, whip the dagger off, you just see... stabs right into the side of the boar. You hear it make another screaming noise as it thrashes about. Anything else for you, Ilo?
I'm going to use my bardic inspiration on Zai. Basically, Ilo just reaches over, puts his hand like on his cheek, and prestidigitizes the taste of very sour lemon into your mouth for like just a second. And he's like, "Pay attention, go!" And so it like jolts your senses basically, and all of a sudden your senses are overwhelmed, and you're suddenly paying more attention to what's going on.
All right, I like it.
That's it.
Cool. All right, mark off a use of your inspiration. Eli. So you were
Okay.
casting sleep on it, I believe was your current plan?
I was going to cast sleep, but considering that if we're gonna fight it, it's probably not gonna be. It's gonna be a waste of a spell if we're damaging it, because then it'll just wake back up. So he's just gonna opt for a fucking firebolt. That's what it's called.
All right, roll it.
A 9 to hit, which sucks
Are-
because it was fucking max damage.
Are
I'm
you
gonna use.
using-
Yeah, I'm gonna use a die because I want to hit that.
Which one?
I will
You have a
use-
4, a 10, and a 12.
I'm gonna use the 12.
The 12. All right.
11, so that'll be a 20 to hit.
That will absolutely hit for...
10 fire damage.
All right, so Eli, poking your head around this tree, you see the boar, line it up, cast the spell, and chanting beneath your breath, throw the hand out, bolt of fire soars out.
Oh. He shoots it out of the end of his cane. He like points his cane and almost like a really long rifle looking thing.
Nice. I like it. I like it. So you point your cane at it, bolt of fire comes flying out, hits the side of the boar, you hear it scream in pain and anger, and you notice the fur on the back of its body seems to be burning.
Oh my goodness! Oh, wow!
It looks like the fire not only impacted, but is now continuing to burn it.
Oh my word!
One might say it has caught on fire, even.
Oh.
Bacon!
All right, and Zai.
Okay, so just to clarify, it was 20 feet away, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna run 10 feet up to it.
All right.
And then with my reach weapon,
Yep.
I'm going to hit it.
Okay.
Nice.
And 20 to hit for 12 damage.
That will hit. Okay. Wow, you guys are really doing a number on this thing. Yeah, so you rush up, whip out your glaive. Ilo, you are currently along for the ride.
That's fine.
Within 10 feet of this creature, and you see Zai just pull out his glaive and just start impaling into the side of this thing, slashing and cutting away. And it leaves a nice-sized gash along the cheek of the boar on the right side as it whips around, looks at you. And you see its eyes are bloodshot and red. Very angry looking.
Does it look like it's enraged?
You know,
Oh boy.
you give me 2 seconds, you're going to find out.
Oh boy.
Not if it rolls a 1 initiative.
Be careful out there, you two.
Okay, so we find ourselves at the top of the round. The dire boar is going to use a bonus action to rage. So you see this boar, eyes glowing with hatred as it stares at Yuzai. Goes on a rampage and starts screaming and squealing and thrashing about. It's going to attempt to break free of the trap,
DC 13 strength check.
which it has advantage.
Oh, of course it does.
It's a DC 13.
Yes.
It just makes it.
Oh man.
Okay,
Rolled a 10 plus 3.
Oh
That is-
man.
that is its action, though.
That is its action.
Yeah. I think if Eli sees it break that chain, he kind of like ducks behind that tree and is like, "Oh boy, that didn't take long at all."
So, with a furious scream, you see this boar just take its one tusk, ram it into the chain, and just rip it out of the ground. The chain, the trap is still on its leg. It just ripped this thing out and is now furiously staring at Zai, ready to lash out.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
there is a very angry boar staring in your general direction.
Hmm. Oh my goodness. I want to get that extra hit on it by going into melee range with it.
It's a real bad.
It's free though. It's free anyways, right?
Yeah.
So it's gonna. Can I do an acrobatics to jump over to it and plant my knife in it for my first melee attack?
Like, you want to jump on top of it? Or just, like, near it?
I want to jump basically over. I want to do an acrobat thing and kind of jump over to get behind its head, kind of in its neck meat zone. Kind of on the haunch of it. I want to essentially be almost riding it, but like I'm sticking my knife in it and I'm going to cling to my knife basically.
I will say that's going to use your movement, but sure.
Okay, that's fine. My movement is completely dependent on the creatures that I am riding at any given moment. Okay, so let me use my die thing.
You have a 4,
That's
a 6, and a 10.
10, using the 10.
You're going to use the D10. Okay.
14 to acrobat over there.
Zai, you feel a lightning on your shoulders as the kobold that was using you as a mount does a forward rolling flip in the air over your head. Once, twice, thump. Lands on his ass on the boar's back. The boar is nonplussed about this and is thrashing about.
Oh god.
And I'm attacking it. 13 to hit.
Use that one of those D4s.
I'm
man.
gonna use the D.
The D4?
Yeah. I might as well. I'm in danger.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Of
So
course.
14 to hit.
That just barely hits.
Good. Good hit. Okay, so it takes that 7 damage. And then offhand, I don't have the offhand keyed into here, but we can math it out. Hold on.
It's like you don't get the.
I don't
One.
hit anyway.
Oh, you don't hit it.
And I'm just gonna hold on to that dagger that I've planted in there.
Okay. So, Eli and Zai, you see Ilo doing these flips, landing on the back of this boar, up right where the base of the neck is, and just furiously stabbing at this boar's, like, right behind the ears, in the neck meat. The first one impacts the hide, and you can feel it's a very thick hide. Like, you have a pretty good feeling that if Zai had not cleaned up your daggers, there's no way those dull-ass things would have gotten through. And you feel the dagger slowly just slice into the meat of this boar, and it squeals. The second one, though, it's thrashing about, you're trying to stab it, and you hit, but it just kind of bounces off of the tough hide of the creature. No effect.
Yeah. Awesome. This is my situation
boy.
now.
You're in a place. Eli.
Okay, so I was reading. I have a plan, but first thing is that my familiar has to have its own initiative. So
it does, but fuck that.
Okay.
It just shares your initiative. I just could not be bothered.
Okay, cool. So Eli is gonna whistle over to Bartimaeus, and Bartimaeus will fly over to him and land on his arm, and he's gonna cast. If I read this correctly, then I can cast a spell on Bartimaeus and have Bartimaeus fly over. And I don't think I can do it on the same turn, but Bartimaeus can essentially cast the spell for me. If I'm reading this correctly.
It's a touch spell.
Yes, that's why I'm doing it on him, because I do not want to get close to this thing.
You don't need to cast it on your familiar. You can cast it through the familiar. It becomes an extension.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, then I'm gonna tell telepathically, Bartimus, fly towards it. I'm going to cast a spell through you. And Bartimus is gonna fly by and get right up close to it, because this will be a touch, or what is it? It is a range of self, so it's got to get right up on it.
What spell are you casting?
I'm going to be casting Color Spray. Because you guys are kind of fucked up right now, and I'm going to try and blind this creature to help you guys out.
Do me a favor and hit the Find Familiar spell, and then hit the Color Spray spell.
Okay. Find Familiar.
I like where you're going with this. I just want to make sure that's plausible.
I think you can just use your familiar as a focus for whatever spell you use.
Also, I forgot to ask this before I jumped over there. Is the boar on fire?
Yes.
Okay.
And then the Color Spray.
When you cast
That just makes it cooler.
Oh, I even rolled the stuff. That's cool.
Nope, just touch. You know you could just take like one step forward, cast it, and then take a step backwards, right?
Well, I have to... The Color Spray is a range of self.
Yeah, but it has a 15-foot cone.
Oh!
Did you punch that in yourself?
No. No, I dragged it straight from Roll20. Because fuck that, I was not going to write all of that stuff.
Alright, you know what? I'll say it works for the sake of expediency.
Okay.
So, you see Bartimus fly up in front of this boar, and just a burst of colorful light shoots out from Bartimus's body. I need...
it rolled the thing on here, on the Color Spray. It has a 28.
Affected in ascending order of their current hit points.
Which it's what, a 15-foot cone.
Ascending...
He's probably going to hit Ilo for sure, since he's on the thing. But trying not to.
Starting with the creature that has the lowest current hit points. Each creature affected by the spell is blinded until the spell ends, which is 1 round. Subtract each creature's hit points from the total. Okay, Ilo, how many HP do you have?
10.
Ilo, you are blinded.
Okay.
Yay!
There is a dazzling image of bright light flashing in your eyes, and it becomes too much, and you just get to squint closed.
That's not what I had in mind. Oh, and duration's only 1 round, though. Okay, well, that's not terrible.
The boar also clenches its eyes shut and is screaming.
Hey, that's worth it, though.
Anything else?
Good job, Artemis. Hurry, get away. Zai, try to finish it off while it's blinded. I think I might have gotten Ilo with that as well.
Ah!
Sorry!
I can't see.
And that's
Help
all
me.
he's gonna do. He doesn't have bonus actions.
All right, Zai.
I'm gonna pull my pike out
Ooh.
Okay.
and attempt to stab the pike underneath its head into its chest. That way, if it like tries to lower itself to charge, it impales itself more.
Oh.
Make the attack.
16 for 7.
That will hit. You jam your pike into this boar's chest,
And then I let go of it.
and you let go of it. All right. Anything
And
else?
yeah, that is my turn.
All right. Boar check. For the sake of this, I'm considering this a grapple, Ilo, since you are essentially riding on it.
Mhm.
Oh boy.
It's a
For the
blind
sake of
rodeo.
my skill abilities, can I use acrobatics to stay on it?
Yes.
Basically balancing instead of, balance versus
Right.
strength. Right.
Make a athletics or acrobatics.
Not good.
And I'll give you 2 guesses what it's trying to do. Neil, you still have a D6 left.
Hint, hint, you should probably use it.
Whether you decide to use it or not is your choice.
How high up is it?
High up is what?
8
The
feet on the
boar.
back.
So
It's
I would
like 8 feet
how much damage is that? 10 feet falling?
You wouldn't take any fall damage if you get knocked off.
Oh, okay. Then I'm not too worried about it. He's blinded. I don't unless I can stab into it with my other knife. I'm not gonna get a better hold than I have now. So I wouldn't really argue that he would be able to stay on it with his current condition. So I feel like it's better if he just gets knocked off.
Okay. You are very aggressively bucked off of the back of this thrashing boar.
As the boar thrashes, does my pike do anything?
It certainly cuts a deeper wound in the chest.
Yay! I helped.
I forgot to tell you, Zaire attack should have had advantage because he's blinded. But just for future reference.
It was not a crit. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Ilo, because you are now on the ground, on your ass, next to
no.
the
Blind.
boar,
Blinded.
Oh no!
blinded. What's your AC?
Oh no!
14.
Got a 6. You
I'll say it has disadvantage.
it has advantage from rage. So it was
so it's just,
one roll.
Oh man! Oh damn!
Ilo, you in your blind stupor hear what sounds like the swishing of wind a couple inches from your ear, and you hear thump.
Oh boy!
Okay.
For you other two, you see that one of the boar's hooves, the one with the trap on it, is maybe 6 inches from Ilo's head.
God! Milo, get out of there!
I can't see. Also, I forgot that my things should have done 1 additional damage, but I'm not worried about it. I'll just remember next time. Or did I add that?
You didn't, but it's now your turn, so...
Okay, well, what I'm going to do is not relevant to damage because I'm blind,
Okay.
and I'm not going to blindly throw daggers at, a giant thing that I would probably hit. I feel like this is a good point, though, RP-wise, for me to use
Do it. Yes.
this
Oh.
as Ilo is screaming and rolling around on the ground. I can't see.
Oh, that's so good.
Okay.
That's my action.
Amazing.
That's all I've
Eli and
got.
Zai, you see this small kobold screaming and rolling around on the ground going, I can't see! I can't see! The boar doesn't know how to handle this and is, quite frankly, a bit confused and trying to determine where the screaming creature is in order to stomp on it.
Oh, Jesus, this is so good.
That being said, Eli, it's your turn. The boar and Ilo both get their sight back.
Now, does that happen at the end of the round, or at the end of my turn?
On your turn, yeah.
Beginning of the turn.
At the beginning of my turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
You already have advantage anyway, though.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Okay. Well, since I don't want to waste an advantage, I'm gonna firebolt it.
All right.
So I think I click on that button. I'm gonna click on firebolt. Oh, fucking crit, baby!
for 6.
How do you want to do this?
Is this killing it, or are you just asking me for a
It's
pizzazz?
How do you kill this wild boar?
So Eli sees that Ilo is like groveling and begging and cowering and like, oh gods, this was not how this was supposed to go. And he just like puts his cane up and kind of like steadies it, and then just like kind of focuses his energy into it and pops a real good firebolt into it, just right into the side of the creature.
All right, you nail this creature, this dire boar, with your firebolt. It goes sailing through the air, hits the boar. The entirety of the boar begins to ignite with fire, burning away at its fur. You hear it scream in pain, lets out one more loud squeal, and then and with a loud and heavy thud, it falls on its side. No longer breathing, but currently still burning.
Eli is like, he's still in that pose. Oh my goodness, that it worked. Oh, that was amazing. And he rushes over to make sure that Ilo is okay.
I'm gonna grab my pike out of the body.
Ilo! Oh, no! Ilo, are you okay? I didn't mean to hit you with that spell.
I'm gonna start trying to shove the boar off of Isla.
Yeah. Eli tries to help, but I mean, let's be real. He has an 8 strength, so
I end up just like cutting my way out.
oh god.
He comes out like covered in blood.
Blood and viscera from the dead boar.
He'll press to digitize the blood off. Just like, oh good god. Oh
Bacon forever.
yes,
Then-
bacon forever.
I want to grab my blacksmithing hammer and try to break the tusks off.
Yeah, that's cool.
Sure. We'll say you grab your blacksmithing hammer and like a chisel. Make a. Are you just trying to straight up break it, or are you trying to do like an even cut?
I'll start with an even cut, and if that doesn't work, I'm just gonna hit it as hard as I can.
Make a dexterity check.
12.
Yeah, you
Wait.
start. What?
I'm gonna use that bardic inspiration while I still can.
From
The
Milo?
actual.
Oh yeah.
For another 2, every single one of these is a 2.
Oh my god.
Man, you're just 2 because you're all about those 2s.
Yeah.
No troubles.
Right. So 14 on the dex.
Okay. You take a few hits with the hammer and chisel and get a solid line of breakage going. Give me a strength check.
Oh my god.
With a swift hit of the hammer, you hear a very uncomfortable and unpleasant screeching noise as your chisel just
Oh.
slides down the side of the tusk,
Oh, good gods, man, why?
leaving a bit of a gouge in it. It's not exactly pleasant.
Eli's holding his ears at that noise.
I want to try again.
Sure.
Another strength check.
Yep.
17.
There you go.
All right. Realigning yourself, you crack down with the hammer and chisel onto the line that you've created, and crack. The tusks come off. Each of these tusks is roughly as tall as Ilo. About as thick as your arm.
Cool. They're kind of heavy.
They are.
I'm
Well-
gonna cut up some of the meat and carry it back with my unseen servant because I'm not touching that shit.
How much weight can your unseen servant carry?
It does not say. It does have a very low strength, though, so I can't carry a whole lot of meat. I'll click it.
It has a strength of 2.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I don't
It
think
can't do much more than. It's pretty much only able to carry a small amount that I would be able to carry.
like a handful at that
It
point.
can carry like 3 strips of bacon.
It's basically carrying a handful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, like a mage hand would be better at that point. It can carry like 5 pounds.
So you carve up some meat.
Well, yeah, Mage Hand carries 10 pounds.
Oh, 10 pounds.
Only lasts for a minute though.
Oh. Eesh.
Yeah.
You may just be out of luck on the.
Hmm.
What were we supposed to bring back to show that we've done this? Just
A
like
trophy. That's why I
trophy.
took the tusks.
Okay, cool.
I'm still carrying a small amount of meat back.
Sure. Anything else? Are you guys collecting anything else from the boar, or is that it?
Well, the hide is a charred mess, so that's probably not worth anything.
There is still a lot more meat.
I mean, maybe like try and cut off like something that each of us could just carry back. I mean,
I can't carry anything else.
because we don't really have like a cart or anything.
I have.
Ilo, being a culinary person, make a intelligence check with proficiency.
8.
You're aware that typically with boars like these, there are other parts of them that can be pretty valuable for cooking as ingredients or as main dishes. Beyond the meat, though, the exact parts elude you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would be a shame to just waste this. Maybe I can send Bartimus out scouting to see if he saw anyone nearby with a cart that would let us cart this thing back.
I mean, I imagine someone in the town would want all this meat, right?
Right.
This thing's 8 feet tall and like 12 feet long, right?
Yep.
It's super heavy.
Maybe someone from the guild will come get it. Who knows?
I mean, because we're like 6 hours away, aren't we?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I want to send Bartimus out to kind of fly around, see if he sees anyone like of the other like hunters, someone who has a cart.
Make a perception check.
Okay. Perception. Oh dear God, why?
Owls get advantage on things with sight.
They do. They have their own stats, keep in mind.
Oh yeah, that's right. Here, let me pull his up then, because I think his is different than mine.
I'm pretty sure owls have a +4.
Perception is +3, and they have advantage on it. Okay. It doesn't let me. Oh, yes, it does. It's a 13.
Advantage.
Oh, God dang it. Okay, well, it'll be a 13. I'll use that D10.
Sure.
2.
Oh,
Alright, Kyle is expending the D10.
for 6. So that'll put me at 19.
Your dice is
Alright.
broken. That's not a 2.
Yeah, I just called Bartimus over, and I'm like, Bartimus, go scout around, see if you can find someone with a cart that would be willing to help us with this. And he just kind of, whoosh, flies off. Oh.
So, Bartimus flies off, and after about half an hour, Bartimus comes back and kind of just hoots at you.
He'll use his telepathic link with him. Artemis, did you find anything?
Bartimus gives you like a no and then a yes.
No and yes. This was going to be a yes or no, not a both question. Did you find someone with it? Did you find a cart, Bartimus?
Bartimus shakes his head.
Like, shakes his head no?
No.
No. Well, drat. Did you see...
Is this going on out loud?
No, it's all mental.
Okay.
Did you see anyone?
Yes.
Were they close by?
Yes.
He'll look at everyone and say, Bartimus says that, well, he wasn't able to see a cart, but there are some people nearby. Shall I follow him and see if they'll help us?
Yeah, we can leave them to their own hunting.
Fair enough.
We have what we came out here for.
That is true.
Bartimus hops up and starts like flying in circles.
What is it, Bartimus?
You say you found someone. He looks kind of excited about it. Think they're in danger or something?
Bartimus, are they okay?
Yes.
Well, if you want to show me something, then... He kind of motions his hand forward. Come on, let's go show me.
Bartimus
You seem eager.
starts flying off towards the east.
Eli just kind of looks over, shrugs. He wants to show me something. I'm going to follow him.
You can transfer your vision.
Oh yeah. Isn't that for only like a certain
About
distance?
100 feet, I think?
Yeah. Yeah, he'll do that first.
That's too far. But yes.
Okay.
You transfer your vision, and right at the border of that vision, Bartimus is flying like higher up at an angle so that you can maintain the link.
Okay.
Being that owls have fucking really good vision.
Yeah.
You can see through Bartimus's eyes that off in the distance in a clearing there is a pair of two hunters, it looks like. It seems like they've killed what looks to be a dire wolf.
Ooh.
And you notice that the corpse of the wolf is on the ground. There looks like there have been large like strips of meat cut from the body. And you see that the two hunters have essentially rigged it where there's one standing in the front, one in the back, and they have like two straight branches going from the front shoulders to the back shoulders. And on those branches are the strips of meat being draped over. And you see that the two hunters are like hefting on more of this meat and like getting ready and like hopping up to start walking away.
Okay. Kind of using themselves as like a carrying device.
Yeah.
Oh, like almost like those like
the gurney, I think it's called.
Yeah. Okay. He'll tell Bartimus to come back, and Bartimus found a couple of hunters that had killed looks like a dire wolf. Obviously, they couldn't take it back all of themselves, but they're forming like a gurney of some sort to tote what they can back.
Yeah, we could just use tusks.
Suddenly, a dire cat shows up.
Oh, y'all heard that?
Dire cat would be the most terrifying of the dire creatures.
God.
Claws like razors.
Pretty sure it's a normal cat.
I'll start cutting up some of the meat then.
Yeah, so it's not gonna be great. Eli's not super strong, but maybe like he'll be in like the back or something. Have probably have Zai, be the one in the front to hold like a good chunk of the weight, but Eli will definitely try what he can. But yeah, essentially, try to imitate that.
Sure. Zai and Eli, what are your strengths?
8.
17.
Very bad, very bad.
Okay. So Ilo, you take out your knives and begin to go to work carving up this boar meat as only you would know, being a kobold of the kitchen, as it were. You cut several of these long, thick slabs of meat, and one after the other begin laying them over some branches that I assume Eli and Zai find in the meantime.
Yeah.
No, we're laying them over the tusks.
Well,
Tusks aren't that long.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty small.
Those are small.
yeah. Hey, I mean, we have
Okay.
plenty of time to gather the sticks and whatnot.
Because they're only
Okay.
about 3 feet in length. You could do that, but it's going to carry less.
Right.
Okay, as long as I can carry the tusks and this at the same time, then sure.
Yeah, you basically
mean-
can like tuck those underneath your backpack. So like they're
Okay.
kind of like sticking out underneath, you know?
Cool.
Then yeah, sticks.
All right. So laying out these slabs of meat, you roughly estimate you've probably got about like maybe 30 pounds worth of the meat before it becomes at that point where you're like, maybe we should stop. Eli already is like, his legs are kind of like a little bit shaky, kind of really holding on to that that staff of yours for support.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. Oh, this was a lot heavier than I thought it would be.
Ilo's running across the thing from shoulder to shoulder. He has like one of his knives in his hand, and he has a carrot in his other hand that he's pulled from his bag, and he's prestidigitizing the flavors of all the different bacon he's had, and giving you guys all the different bacons he's had, and talking about all the different flavors that he can put in bacon, and he tries to put like different seasonings in there every now and then, and he's
Fancy
talking about
bacon.
all the fun things he's gonna do with bacon.
Is that
Urban
inspiring
spice
us to
bacon.
carry it better?
Yes. Ilo, have you ever had elven spiced bacon? It's quite yummy.
I have probably not.
You haven't.
Oh, it's quite good. It's a little bit of a sweeter taste to it. It's quite lovely.
Well, I think I remember Ruben describing it. Never had it though.
Ah, it's quite lovely.
Hmm.
Pour a little bit of some sort of syrup on top of it.
I've had syrup.
Oh,
And he tries to prestidigitize some random syrup that he's had into the flavor of the bacon on the carrot.
oh man. Oh. Mm. Well, gentlemen, we loaded up and ready to go. I don't know how much more of this weight that I could carry. As you can visibly see his knees just kind of like wobbly.
Well, I guess about time we get back.
My bacon talk is real good. There. Now you carry it better.
Such good bacon.
Such
That
good
bacon.
talk.
So, you take the next,
Oh, a
well,
long time.
I was gonna say, it's been, so let's say about 9 hours. You guys were up at around, let's say, like 6, so it's about 6 p.m. You guys, it's really your choice. You can try to hoof it all the way back, but you're going to start making con saves. Or you could take a break, or take a long rest.
So it's about 6?
It's 6 p.m. right now. If you traveled all the way back, you wouldn't get back until midnight.
So we go,
And
so we
I
go
would
3
be...
hours from set camp.
Okay.
Because this is the middle of the... Oh, sorry. I say we go about 3 hours, make camp. We don't really want to be staying in the middle of dire grounds.
That is probably a good idea.
Okay. I can cook some of this if you guys want to start the fire.
That would probably be good as well.
We'll see how we're feeling when we get to camp. Might just want to pass out at that point.
I might have to try this sleep. I haven't been this active in quite some time, and I don't know how much further my poor feet will take me, but I will do what I can.
Excuse me. All right, so you guys are making camp?
3 hours.
After
3 hours.
Right.
We don't want to be camping right here.
Sure. So
A herd of dire wolves come out.
You guys travel for about 3 hours out of the dire grounds and back into the woods. Not that far from Shayla's, but far enough that you really just don't want to make that kind of a long trek. You set up camp in a small clearing. There is enough dry wood around that you can definitely get a campfire going.
Eli can definitely get a fire going. His firebolt.
Sure. So, what are you guys doing? Are you heading straight to bed or doing anything else?
I'll make food and eat it, because I'm a fatty.
Oh yeah, Eli is probably starving at this point. He's very tired. He's like he's probably taking his shoes off for a few minutes, rubbing his feet. Oh goodness, I haven't done this much walking, and well, I don't remember the last time. Oh goodness.
Fix that for you.
Alright. I didn't know exactly where it was.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's like definitely rubbing his feet and his shoulders from where he's been carrying the stuff. And then when Ilo gets done cooking, he'll just, in a probably not so great mannered way, just dig straight in.
How much of this meat are you preparing?
Probably like, I don't know, like what's a good amount?
Probably a couple pounds worth.
Generally speaking, a single person for a meal could eat about a half pound.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, actually. I'll do a half a pound each person, and I'll have the random carrots and stuff that I have, like, kind of alongside of that.
Oh, wonderful.
Sure.
Because I would be carrying just random, like, couple random, not a whole bunch, but some carrots and a couple potatoes. Not many potatoes, because they're heavier, but...
True. Okay, so you guys spend the rest of the night enjoying a very fine meal crafted by the very peculiar kobolds that...
Eli is definitely like watching this whole process. He is fascinated with Ilo himself.
He has his unseen servant helping him, basically doing all of the work, and he's just commanding it around, yelling at it.
That's awesome.
Eli,
Yes.
you've seen this done before. This is not new to you. People using magic for mundane tasks.
Right.
What is new to you is a kobold doing this.
Definitely. I don't think Eli even really says much. He's just kind of watching it. Just it's remarkable. I think at one point he will actually ask him, Ilo, where did you, someone of your, well, not to come across the wrong way, but how did a kobold learn magic? it's quite fascinating, and using it in such a fascinating manner. I must admit, I am quite interested in this. It's fascinating.
Callie. She's a bard on the Trinity. She taught me how to do magics. Ruben knows some magics. Mainly just, prestidigitation. Not many, though. Mainly Callie.
Ah,
Cooking was
Interesting.
Ruben. Callie doesn't know how to cook.
well, I must say, this whole process is quite fascinating to watch, and your food is quite delicious.
Oh, thank you.
I love these carrots. They're quite. I wish we had some bread, though. Maybe some sort of sweet roll of some sorts. That would just top it off quite well.
I'll prestidigitize that onto his carrot and just walk back to what I was doing.
So he bites into this piece of carrot, expecting carrot, and just tastes delicious roll. And then, like, he has that moment where, like, you're expecting one flavor, and it's not like, oh, I'm gonna take a drink of like Dr. Pepper, and I get sweet tea instead. I'm like, oh, my brain has to readjust. And once he does, he's just like, oh my goodness, this is. I can't. Ilo, this is. These are the kind of things that I was teaching in my class. It was more utilitarian, not cooking per se, but more useful everyday uses of magic. And this is what it was all about, was using it to help us in our everyday lives, and seeing this put to use is just so, it makes me feel so wonderful. This whole day has been wonderful. Getting out here, I mean, that we fought something. We fought something and killed it. It's amazing. I feel so
really
alive.
It was really big.
It was terrifyingly big, but it was such a rush. Oh, goodness. Lily's she's gonna laugh at me for one, but she'll love to hear about this.
I'll have stories to tell all the people on the boat, too. Callie loved telling stories.
It's been quite a day.
Indeed.
Zai, have you, I don't want to make assumptions, but have you ever killed something like that before?
Something like that? Been a few times. Not exactly like that back in my childhood, but not recently. Spent most of my time, learning.
I take it you're from the, what we saw earlier with Ilo's knives, you're more into the blacksmithing.
Well, for the past 8 years at least.
Wow, fascinating. The crafting, that's so, I love it all. Well, gentlemen, if you don't mind, I am going to do a little bit of studying, some note-taking. I'll have Bartimus kind of watching out for us, and then I'm going to meditate for a while. I could use some rest.
Okay.
And he'll spend the rest of the night. He'll probably spend like an hour or so just in his books, and then he'll just kind of pass out into a meditation. He's very tired.
Okay. The other two doing anything?
I don't think that Ilo would know to take watches or anything. There's nothing in his backstory that would suggest that he's interested in staying up to be concerned about things around him. So I think he'll pass out.
I will keep a watch because done traveling, done freelance stuff.
Okay, are you taking the entire night's watch, or are you going to wake somebody up?
I'll take the first 4 hours or so, and then elf person will be done with their meditation. I'll go to sleep.
Okay. Make a perception.
8.
All right. You sit by the fire and kind of just keep watch as you see the other two meditating or sleeping.
While I sit there, I want to take out a whetstone and just sharpen up my glaive, make sure it's in good condition after the fight.
Sure. Yeah, it's got like a few little bits here and there. It's a little bit dulled after fighting, hitting some of the bone on the boar or whatnot. Okay. As you are sitting at the fire and just shink, shink, cleaning up your blade, you hear the snapping of a twig, and maybe 10 feet away from you, in some bushes, you can see a pair of yellow eyes that are staring at you, and you hear what sounds like
How far off the ground are they?
the eyes?
Mhm.
Probably about like 3.5, 4 feet up.
So Isla's head. Okay.
And you hear it growling. And I'm gonna need everybody to roll initiative.
Wait.
please.
I want to take a little hunk of the meat and just kind of throw it.
Sure. Still gonna need everybody to roll initiative, please.
Okay. 16.
That's a saving throw. That's not a check.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess it's the same because I don't have.
As long as it's the same.
Yeah, it's just a
Yeah.
+2. So that was a 19 on the die. Wow.
Alright, so let's see. Zai with a 16. Ilo with an 18. And then Eli with the 21. Okay, so
Oh, good.
it is a surprise round. So Eli, you are still sleeping.
Didn't care about my chunk of meat.
Well, we're getting to that. So you toss the chunk of meat, and Wolf 1 here, which is the one that was glaring at you that failed its stealth check.
It must have felt real bad.
Roll me an animal handling. It watches the meat go flying by, and then it looks back at you, growls, and it's going to leap at you and attempt to bite you.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Is it a crit?
That sounds like a yeah. It looks like a yeah.
I'm gonna have to say that hits me. Yep.
Come on, focus.
Uh-oh.
That's 20. Yeah.
Oh, that's a 20. Oh,
I'll
boy.
be fine. I'll be fine. Don't worry.
At
about
least it's you and not one of those two squishy people.
You take a total of 6 piercing damage as it bites into your arm and begins to just... I need you to make a strength saving throw as well, please.
Oh, God.
11.
Oh, no.
And I'm knocked prone.
You're knocked prone. So this wolf leaps out of the shadows, chomps down on your arm, and knocks you to the ground as it's viciously, like, tearing at your arm. Just... Arrgh! You other two are beginning to wake up from this as you hear loud growling. Ilo, you are just waking up, so you do not get to do anything in the surprise round. Zai, you're not surprised because you were alerted. So you get to have your turn this round.
I'm going to use half my movement to stand back up.
Okay.
And then as a bonus action, I'm going to second wind.
Okay.
Regain a whole 3 hit points. It's a 2 on the D10, imagine that.
Why is it doing it twice?
Yeah.
Oh, because it does it automatically. I'll take the 5. I added in the other one manually.
Yeah, just take the 5. Alright, so you gain back 5 HP.
And then I will swing at this thing with my glaive.
Okay, make your attack roll.
14 for 11.
That will hit. You,
Nice.
standing up, take your glaive and slash down at this creature, and your blade bites deep into the side of it, and it lets out a yelp of pain as there is a massive gash going down the side of this creature, and you can see blood already beginning to pool. Now that it has stepped into the light, it's definitely not a dire wolf, however, it is just a regular wolf. That being said, it's still fucking huge.
Yay!
Oh, boy.
Because regular wolves are also very big. And it's currently growling at you. Now, that being said, what you don't see is that there was a second wolf that was coming up behind. However, seeing that you are currently tangoing with the other wolf, it is going to pounce at what looks to be the most vulnerable source of food.
Oh, no.
Ilo, what's your AC?
14.
Wow. Okay.
Uh-oh.
So, Ilo, by mere happenstance, you're waking up as you hear this wolf viciously attacking Zai, and you kind of just like roll over, half conscious, like, what's going on? And you hear boom, boom, second time today. And looking behind you, you see that there is another wolf where, with both of its paws and its fangs, basically right where you were just a split second ago.
Oh, boy.
Even with advantage, it rolled a 5 and a 6.
Goodness.
That is the end of the surprise round. Eli, you wake up and see that there is a wolf currently locked in battle with Zai, and another one that looks like it really wants to add kobold to the menu.
Oh, goodness. Oh, what, oh.
He kind of shakes his head, looks to his side, like he's still sitting down, like his legs crossed. He grabs for his cane and just, okay, I know what to do. And just points at the wolf.
Which one?
And the one by Ilo.
Okay.
And we're gonna magic missile this wolf for 2 force damage.
You get 2 more of those.
2 more of those, yep.
It's 3 darts, so if you've done 2 damage, then there's something wrong.
Oh, I figured it was rolling that all
It
together,
doesn't,
I guess.
no.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's
so
like
just roll 2 more, 1d4 plus 1.
Oh, 5? And the last one will be 3. So 10 force damage altogether.
Okay.
So he just extends his cane in a panic and just do.
All right, you
Just
see these 3 missiles fly out and impact the wolf. It lets out a yelp of surprise and pain.
Okay.
And
And then he will stand up.
Yep.
And that uses half of his movement.
Yep.
And is there like a tree nearby that I could like maybe try to get behind?
Yeah, we'll say like you were probably resting at the base of a tree, so you could try to duck behind it.
Yeah, he's gonna do that to try and give himself a little bit of cover.
Okay. You
Cool.
duck behind cover.
That's it for him.
Zai.
Are you sure, Zai?
Whoops. What? No, I'm saying the wolf is looking to eat you.
Yeah. No, it's not.
That is a 21.
Yeah, that
Oh.
hits, but it doesn't want to hit me.
Well, but it does.
No.
That is 7 points of piercing damage.
Jeez.
Yeah, it rolled a lot better this time than it did when it crit.
Good thing I second winded or I'd be unconscious.
And let me get that strength save.
Strength save. 24.
You are not knocked prone. This time you're more well prepared for it, and while it hurts like a bitch biting into your arm again, let's say it's like biting the same arm, like just really going for that. You're able to resist being knocked on your ass a second time. Ilo! There's a wolf currently biting at Zai, and there's another one that looks like it's saying meat's back on the menu, boys.
I think I have to worry about the one that's on me before I can go over and help. Because opportunity attacks are real dangerous in early levels.
They are.
Yeah.
So I will knife it. I'll knife it real good. 11 to hit. And offhand is 8 to hit.
You know, I hate to say it. Did you stand up, by the way?
Yeah.
All right. You start in a panic flailing at this wolf and trying to get some sort of weapon stabbed into this creature. And you're just not at all reaching it. Like, you're flailing in the air and the wolf's just kind of like...
Goodness.
All
anything
right.
else?
Ain't having none of your shit.
No.
Okay. Zai.
I'm gonna move around to the other side of my wolf, so both of the wolves are right in front of me.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna take a deep breath and expel some fire out of it
Okay.
Oh, nice.
for 10 fire damage. It's a
DC
DC 12 dex save or half damage.
Okay. And it's aligned, so it does not get ILO.
Right.
That is a 17 before adding anything. And that is a 12 before adding anything.
Okay, so that's 5 damage for each of them.
Okay, so the wolf in front of you bursts into flames, lets out a dying whimper, and then slumps over.
Oh, thank God.
The one over by Ilo, it leaps out of the way. Some of the fire like singes its sides as it moves away. It is not very happy about the burning, but it is still alive.
Okay, and that is my turn.
Okay. Zai, make a charisma check.
8. It's my favorite roll, apparently.
Okay. Wolf 2 is unhappy about this, but is determined to get that sweet, juicy kobold meat.
Oh, good. Sweet juicy kobold has more HP than me currently.
Does a 18 hit?
Oh,
Yes.
God.
All right. That is 7 piercing damage.
Okay.
As it bites into you and just starts viciously tearing at your
no.
muscle.
Oh no.
Okay.
And it is growling. And I need you to make a strength save.
So there it is. Okay.
there it is.
12.
You just barely are able to maintain your footing.
Nice.
I'm like throwing around a little bit.
Like, "Ah! Ah! Ah!" Eli! One wolf is dead. The other one is currently
Wait,
tossing Ilo around like a sock puppet.
would I have disadvantage being a small creature?
On strength save?
Oh no.
I don't believe so.
Okay, we'll go with that then.
I think it's only when you try to grapple things.
Okay.
So Eli whistles and telepathically says to Bartimus to go over to that wolf. Bartimus, go help out. And Bartimus will fly over to the wolf.
Uh-huh.
And if I'm doing this correctly, that's going to be the help action,
Yep.
which will give me advantage on this attack.
Yep.
Okay, so Eli's going to peek out and firebolt.
All right.
And I'm gonna do this right this time. 24 to hit for 6 fire damage, and that was with advantage.
That will hit. You see the firebolt impact the side of the wolf.
Awesome.
And it lets out another yelp and starts growling. Very upset.
Ilo, hurry! Either get out of there or kill it!
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And he's gonna peek back behind that tree, and that's his turn.
All right. Wolf 1 is dead. Which brings it to Ilo.
All right. I'm gonna go up right underneath it where it's bit me, and shove blades up into its neck.
All right. Do it.
18 to hit
Oh.
for 7, and 22 to hit for 6.
Oh,
How do you
3.
kill this wolf?
Ilo kind of like grabs his beating, and as soon as it lets him go, he just steps forward and takes both of his knives and just lifts them up in the air and goes shink,
Oh, nice.
and showers himself in blood.
oh.
And indeed you are.
Again.
Again.
Yep. You find yourself bathed in the blood of this wolf as you make a cross-form slash on the wolf's throat. The blood comes pooling down, and then it falls down and dies, with its head falling on top of you.
Oh,
Blood for the blood god.
This is the second time in a day that Ilo has been caught underneath a bigger animal and just smushed.
Oh god. Eli will run over and using Mage Hand to assist him try to pull this wolf off of Ilo.
Oh, goodness, Ilo, why does this keep happening to you?
I don't know.
It's not
And-
so much of a lift. You're just kind of like
Pushing.
pull, like like
Yeah.
you're dragging it.
And I'm gonna throw my wolf off into the woods.
All right, you just two-handed heave ho and just chuck it into the woods.
It's out of camp now, not my problem.
Oh, goodness.
Ouch.
Ilo, are you okay?
I bit.
Yes, I saw that.
I regained 3 hit points.
Wow.
Goodness.
Are you hit? Are you hit?
No, I'm fine.
Are you hit?
Zai got hurt though.
And he walks back over like streaming blood.
Uh-oh.
Goodness.
Got me just a little bit.
Well, there you go.
You get 8 back.
That perfectly puts me at full health.
Nice.
Wow.
What happened?
Well, I was sitting around the fire, and I looked up, and there was a wolf.
You gotta put more southern inflection in that. Well, I was sitting around the fire, and then there's a wolf.
Yeah, tell you what, dang on me, I was sitting there by that there fire,
Dang
just
old
going
wolf.
shink, 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 and then rawr, that big old fucking wolf came out. Rawr. I'm afraid I can do that.
I'm just sucking with Shonix. I love it.
If it goes too much further, it just starts becoming unintelligible, and then it sucks.
That's where the magic happens.
Yeah.
Okay. Ouch. I need to rest.
Yes.
How are you doing on your meditation?
I don't know. How am I doing on that meditation?
You had probably another like 2 hours before you would
Okay.
you'd be rested.
I need a couple of more hours to
Okay.
fully rested.
Whenever you finish with that, tell me, and then I can go to sleep.
Right. Maybe I could probably take over for a bit.
Well, that's fine. After that, whatever Isla just did to me put me right as rain.
Ah,
Oh my god.
very good.
Right as rain. Oh my god.
What? Are you laughing at the way Zai talks? How could you?
I don't know. That's just that right as rain. It
Yeah.
just got me. Oh. Oh.
I don't know what that means.
That means thank you. I'm good now.
Oh,
Oh,
Okay.
God.
good.
Yeah, I can. Eli can take some watch for a little bit, since. I mean, I have the least amount of time that I need to, recover. So I can go ahead and I can have Bartimus assist me and whatnot. Let you guys go ahead and get some more rest. Get them spell slots back.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
All right.
It'll give me some more time to take notes and do some studying.
We agree, so we do it.
Right.
You agree, so you do it. The rest of the night goes by without any other issue. It seems like the two wolves were the only predators that were out and about at this time, or at least any that were willing to enter your camp and try to take your meat. And morning eventually comes around. You all wake up feeling refreshed and reinvigorated, and somehow feeling more capable of
Oh shit!
dealing with life. One might compare it to leveling up, one would say.
Oh, yes.
Huh? Oh yeah!
What are you guys doing?
Man.
Oh my god! If this is where I get my shit.
I wouldn't
Oh,
worry about any of that right now.
Right. I'm just super excited. Yeah. Eli's a morning person. He's just up and ready to go.
Average on the D8's 5, right?
Yep.
Great deal. All right. Yep. I'm ready. Ilo slept on top of the wolf.
Oh my gosh.
Fuzzy.
well, gentlemen, shall we continue our way back home?
Or to base. back to the base, whatever we're calling it.
Yeah, this meat's not gonna haul itself.
I'm ready. And I jump
Alright.
on top of the stack of meat.
You know, this is probably why it's so heavy.
I mean,
Doubt it.
it is a little bit lighter now that we cooked some of it.
Not a whole lot.
Yeah, but it's what, like,
And adding on
like a
the
pound and a half.
adding on the extra 30 pounds of cobalt certainly doesn't
Oh,
help.
damn, yeah.
So,
Doubles the weight.
Son of a bitch.
nah. How much do I weigh? If I weighed under 10 pounds, could I fly with Mage Hand?
No.
Oh my god. Just carry
If
yourself.
you weighed under 10 pounds, you would be dead.
No.
You're a kobold. You are not a pixie. There are sizes smaller than small, you are aware.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like, you're roughly
I'm
the same
still-
size as a gnome.
I'm still interested in seeing how much I weigh. Okay, yeah, he
yeah.
weighs.
Uh-huh.
That's. What is that? Yeah, he weighs like 30 pounds.
It's all those scales.
Yeah.
Just rip off your skin and then you won't weigh as much.
Oh, god. That's
So-
unsettling.
You take the next 3 hours making your way back into Shayla's. The festival is still in full swing. There are still a bunch of carts and stands and people all about celebrating and enjoying the festival. It looks like some of the less experienced hunters have returned as well. Several of them appear to be setting up their own little stands where you can see they're currently cleaning and dealing with the carcasses of some wolves, some deer, the occasional normal-sized boar, a few rabbits, some squirrels. One hunter looks to have scored a fair amount of what appear to be quail eggs.
Ooh.
You see one hunter was actually able to get a few ducks. You can see that there are actually still some arrows sticking out of a few of them.
It would appear that some of the other hunters have already returned with their catches. It seems that some of them are doing quite well.
And you... all three of you make a perception.
Ooh, I like perception. Oh, goddamn crit, baby.
You really like perception.
Okay. Ilo, you're still taking in all of the new smells and wonders of this carnival that you didn't get to enjoy when you were leaving.
Yep.
Zai, as the group of you are making your way into town, you notice that there are a lot of people that are looking at you guys in a bit of surprise and awe. In particular, you notice a lot of these people are looking at the tusks protruding from behind your backpack. Eli, you notice all of this. You also notice that much further down the way, along this main road, we'll call it, like this main alley, where all of these hunters have their wares and everything, all their catches set up, you see that there's this peculiar looking tall, thin wood elf. A bit lighter skinned than Dalus, wearing what appears to be a rather fine white tunic with a green vest over it. Brown leather pants that are tied with a red sash.
Ooh.
Nice looking leather boots that have fur protruding from the inside out of the top of it.
He has the boots with the fur.
Boots with the fur, yep. And he's walking around with what looks like a clipboard. And you see him walking up to a cart or like a stand where there's a hunter, looks over everything that the hunter has. You see them exchanging a few words. You see the elf write something down on the notepad or on the clipboard, and then walks on to the next one.
Okay. So it appears like he's some sort of like, I don't know what the term is, but someone that we would potentially need to check in with.
I leave that assumption to you.
Okay.
Gentlemen, I think we should go check in with this good sir over here. It seems that it appears that he's checking over the catch from everyone. Maybe we should go approach him and see what he's doing. Let's see if we're supposed to check in with someone of some sort.
Do we notice him now?
Yeah, now that he's been pointed out, you can recognize this guy. You see him walking around.
He appears to be someone of note. He has official looking.
Well, I can see what you mean. Guess we can head over there.
Good. Maybe he can direct us to somewhere we can unload all of this.
Yeah, that'd be great.
It would be quite wonderful.
And since I'm in front, I'll like start turning us so we can head that direction.
Okay.
And as we get closer, oh my god, I almost called myself a different character. Who am I playing right now? Eli. Just literally forgot my character.
Yep.
It's that age catching up with you.
Yeah.
It is.
Eli will, as he gets within range, he starts to tap on the guy's shoulder with Mage Hand.
Excuse me, good sir. Can you assist us, please?
Yes, sir. What can I do for... And he, like, leans over, looks at what you're carrying, and goes, another one for the entry into the hunting tournament. Very well. Well, what have you got?
Well, this here's a dire boar, and on the way back we killed 2 wolves. I don't know if we can count those, though. Couldn't really carry them.
I'm going to jump up and tell him the craziest story about the boar and fight and go into like detail on the whole thing and roll a nat 1.
Oh my god.
Tell him.
Can I oh my god. Can I have Bartimus aiding him? To give him a help action?
Why
Dancing
not?
lights. Give
Sure.
dancing lights.
Yeah. Get you another
Roll another performance.
Oh, okay.
Hey!
You have to convince him I'm not gonna murder him.
Yeah,
So-
I have like my owl come over here and he's like waving his fucking wings and shit, and there's
So,
like dancing lights and
You're
stuff.
essentially like telling this story. The judge appears to like he's like leaning over slightly, like trying to appraise the meat and the tusks, and about to respond to Zai mentioning the wolves. And then you just hop up and start reenacting this whole fight. Bartimus playing the part of the boar. And like pretending to like flap around and like claw at you with his like little owl talons. And Ilo, you're like furiously fighting him off with your daggers as if it's a sword, swinging left and right. Zai and Eli, there is so much embellishment that you are not sure where any of this actually happened.
Yeah.
By the end of the story, this judge is standing there going, "Uh-huh."
It was quite the experience, if I do say so myself.
Ooh. You got a 16. Well, that's quite a story. It sounds to me like you had quite the hunt. And indeed, this looks quite Well, if you don't mind, I'd like to get some measurements on the tusks in particular. I need to get an entry in for the tournament. I need to get your names. Give me a moment. Sorry. Introductions. Where are my manners? Hi, I am Rannis Willowbark. Pleasure to meet you.
Is that
The pleasure is ours.
Rannis with an R.
Rannis.
Rannis Willowbark.
Say the name again.
Rannis Willowbark.
Willowbark.
It is much harder for me to say this name when I am congested. I'm sorry.
Right.
Well, here, let me just get one of these tusks for you. My name's I.
I am Professor Elowin, and our small friend up here is Ilo.
I wave.
Oh, and the little bird is Bartimus. He is my friend here.
Very well. Nice to meet you all. Let me get the measurements, if you would, please. And he pulls out what looks to be a strip of cloth with markings along it for lengths. Starts to getting the measurements, going, yes, about 3 feet in length. Oh, that's a very good one. Full grown, okay.
Gods, I hope it was full grown.
Starts getting a measurement on the diameter. All right. Good. Not bad condition. Looks like you chiseled it out pretty well. All right. Notes are taken. He starts furiously writing on the clipboard. And name for registry?
Zai Kieran.
Okay, Zai Kieran. Alright, if you are announced as winners or anything of the sort, we will be in contact. Where can we find you?
You can find us at the Free Company.
At the Free... He pauses and kind of lets it trail off and then looks at you.
Yes?
The big tree over there.
Yeah, we're new around here.
Ah, you were the ones sent to do the okay. We had put an...
Can I do an insight check on this?
Sure.
Okay. Never mind.
He seems on the up and up.
All right.
Something wrong with that?
No, we had sent in to have this job posted within the guild, just more to humor than anything, if I'm being completely honest with you. The guild is more for show than anything at this point. Let's be honest here.
Seem pretty empty in there.
Yeah, but I mean, this is certainly progress. If you are indeed representing the guild, very well. And he takes a note, writes down, all right, Free Company Guilds, noted. We will be in contact, and your payments will be registered nonetheless. I assume that you need to bring that back with you. However, for entrance into the tournament, I do need to keep the tusks.
Need both of them?
Yes, I will need the pair. They generally sell much better when they're in a pair.
Two things. One, can we get a note or something so we can say we actually did this? And two, is there any way we can get rid of all this meat we're carrying? It's kind of heavy.
No, of course.
It is quite heavy.
Yeah, I take it you're all new around here, yes?
Yeah,
Oh,
just been in
yes.
town for 2 days or so.
Well, the hunters that are here setting up on the street, they get to keep what they catch and then they get to sell it, as is in whatever way they see fit. Being that you do not have your own stall or anything set up, the reason I will take the tusks, and I can take the meat as well, is we as the Hunting Association will sell the product for you and register it. And then whatever profits we obtain from it, we will share a portion of it with you. However, we do keep a percentage as well for ourselves for sellers' fees and labor and A little bit
Yes,
of
yes, yes.
taxes.
That all makes
Of course, I've been in business. I know how that works. Either you two mind that,
No,
or can we get rid of the meat here?
that seems quite reasonable.
Great.
Mm,
Then
that's fine.
payment will be delivered to you at the guild. One moment, please. And you see him walk off, and he goes over to two hunters that look like they are just about done setting up their stuff. And he starts talking to them for like less than a minute, and they kind of just nod, come over, and the two of them relieve you of the racks of meat. He takes the tusks, and he says, "Well, good day to you."
Wait, can we get that note? Guild business and all.
Oh, yes, of course. Sorry, my apologies. And he, like takes out a piece of paper from underneath what he was writing on, starts writing down on it, and hands it to you.
Thank you very much, kind sir.
Yes, thank you.
Now, of course. Happy hunting. And he walks off with the two hunters in tow. You are now lightened of your burden.
Yay!
Eli's doing like the shoulder rub, just
Oh, goodness.
and then he snaps his finger and prestidigitizes his clothes back to pristine condition.
Sure.
They smell wonderful and clean again.
So shall we make our way back to the freeing company?
I think that sounds like a wonderful idea.
Isla?
That's fine.
Okay.
So you guys make your way back to the free company. It doesn't take you very long to get there from this main road. And inside, you see that Dalus is currently sitting at the main desk. It looks like... Make a perception check. All three of you.
Crit.
Crit.
Holy
Oh.
You just got 2 crits on
Oh!
perception. What is this? The world explodes. We all level up.
What the fuck, guys?
What's happening?
What just happened? I need to take a picture of that.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
I'm taking a picture of that, because that will never happen again. Holy shit.
What are the odds? Roll 20, come on now.
Where was that luck for balance?
God.
Holy fuck.
Holy crap, that's awesome.
Okay. And,
Wow.
Zai, because you're the only one who would potentially know this, give me a history check.
And there it goes.
Never mind, you don't know. You know nothing, Zai Kieran. So, as you walk in, you see Dalus sitting behind his desk, and it appears that he's reading some sort of letter. You can see that there is a seal on it, freshly broken, a wax seal. None of you recognize the seal itself. It just appears to be some sort of, like, fancy elf-looking family crest or whatever. You're not really sure. And he appears to be very deep in thought as he's reading this. And you can see that there's another sheet of paper that is residing on the desk itself. That also appears to be very, like, some sort of very official document. There appear to be signatures on it. The document itself appears quite old. Eli, give me a intelligence with proficiency. Because it doesn't really fit with any of the other things, but...
That'll be a 21. Wait, proficiency, no, this is 20.
20, alright. From where you are, you're not 100% positive, but the document, A, looks like the deed to a property of some sort, based on the layout of the writing. Your best guess is it's a deed.
Okay.
And the paper that it's written on itself, your best guess is probably a couple thousand years old.
Oh boy.
Actually, let me double check that before I confirm. Did I get my date on that right? Hold on. Calm. Hold. Yeah, several thousand years.
Oh boy. Yeah. I mean, seeing a document that old, that definitely piques his interest.
And as you guys walk in and take this all in, he startles from his reading stupor, looks up, goes, welcome back. It's good to see you. Sorry, I was doing some reading on some matters that, well, no matter. How did it go? You're obviously still alive, which is good, I take it.
I just silently hand the note over.
He
It
reaches
went
out,
quite well.
takes the letter, looks it over, and goes, "You are to be commended."
Truthfully, the wolves on the way back were scarier than the boar was.
You encountered
Yes.
wolves on the way back. They don't normally attack.
Well, we did have like 30 pounds of meat with us. That might have attracted them.
Oh,
Yes.
you didn't. Okay.
Unfortunately, they caught us off guard while we were sleeping.
It may have helped if you had probably inquired to the locals a bit for proper hunting etiquette and certain rules. Not rules that are legally rules, but rules that will save your skin, as it were.
Right.
Like, if you ever go hunting, bring some sort of container that you can seal.
That would. Yes.
Don't really know if we could have stuck 30 pounds of meat in a container.
Well, it's not that hard to purchase a crate or a barrel, and then get a cart or what have you. I mean,
Well, it's fine. We dealt with it. Got some good battle experience out of it, too.
of course, and that is indeed part of why we send people off to do these sorts of trials, is we want to make sure that you're capable of handling yourselves in situations that are outside of the norm, shall we say. Well, well
I must
done.
ask, what is that document you had there? It was quite old.
Well, let me... I will get to that.
Oh,
Since
fair
it's maybe of relevance to you.
I mean, anything old in nature, curious, is always up my alley. I'm always
Now-
curious to learn new things.
There's nothing more to be said in regards to your trials. You have completed the task as we have asked. You are, if you will accept it, you are officially considered full members of the Free Company.
Yay.
Wonderful.
Including entitlement to all that those benefits held.
Past tense?
I will address that also in a moment.
Interesting.
There's a lot going on, and depending on what you decide, there will be... Well, there are choices to be made, and I leave them in your hands. Being full-fledged members and being the newest and some of the only members that we have, it is necessary that you take on a job within the guilds, doing whatever tasks it is that we get whenever we get hired to do something, if there's not already something that needs to be dealt with. Now, I understand that there is the concerns of the Dwarven Kingdom and that whole fiasco, which, quite frankly put, slaying a dire boar is good and all, but that's a whole nother level that you're not ready for. Hell, I don't think even any of the other members in this guild would be ready to deal with it either. We're just not at the strength that we used to be. But that being said, I have 4 potential jobs for you. One of them is more for my own curiosity and will not garner any payment or anything. It's more for my own curiosities. 2 of them are your usual paying positions, and then the final one is a special one.
Ooh, special, you say?
Indeed. If you will hear me out, I will give you the list of jobs, and then you can decide as you wish what you wish to do. This is a guild, not a dictatorship. I will not tell you which you should do, simply that you must do something.
Well, that seems fair enough.
Well, the curiosity for my sake is the Embuscar Grove. Out of character, remind me, Eli, you showed him the pin, correct?
The pin. Yeah.
You did show him, okay.
Yeah.
The brooch that you had shown me that you received from the Embuscar Grove, or found there, I should say, it has me curious as to what really happened there, whether it was really wildfires, or if perhaps this was the doing of a member of the Church to the Fire Gods. Normally, with them, they would make it clear if there's to be a area that is to go through their purging, as they call it. If this was their doing, then that bodes serious issues for Midwood and many of the other countries as well, should there be a rogue arson on the loose, as it were.
A rogue arson sure would be bad.
Indeed, it would be quite devastating, considering that the woods themselves are a very important resource for many of us. So there's that position.
Right.
Now, the second one is we were recently approached in a subtle manner to aid a lesser noble family that is suffering with an unusual disease infecting one of their children. However, they're in Eastbourne, which is in the Farthorn Barony. A bit of a travel, but as far as I understand it, they're willing to pay handsomely for aid in finding a cure or whatever it is that is plaguing their child. There is also a job to investigate the disappearance of several villages in Taka, which is up north in the Kazan Tundra. Not quite as high paying as the previous mentioned position, but still bears investigation. We were approached by the mayor of Taka. Outside of contact from Kaskazini, it seems that they don't want to worry the higher-ups, as it were. They want to keep this rather quiet as well, but not to the same extent. And then there is the fourth one, which is... And he holds up the letter and the ancient sheet of parchment. You recall the other day you had mentioned the war with the dwarves and all the issues that were arising from them. And I had sent a letter to my father, who passed it along to my grandfather on the council within Morothos. He very expediently got back to me. There are things that I will not share because it's more of a personal matter. However, he has, in not so many words, essentially said that we as a guild are no longer welcome to operate here in Shayla's and have a month to essentially leave. Not with ill will. He looks at you guys, looks to make sure the door is closed, and then says, it's because if we're to get involved in any of these potentially political conflicts arising, we need to make sure that we're not caught in the crossfire here in Midwood. And we need to make sure that we're not inadvertently endangering any of the other countries as well.
Well, where would we go if not here?
That is where this comes in, and he holds up the ancient sheet of parchment. My grandfather seems to have been holding on to something that came into his possession a long time ago. He did not tell me how he received it, simply that I should make the best use of it I can. And he passes the sheet over to you guys.
Yeah, I want to look at that.
Yeah, what do we see? What do we see?
You see a very old sheet of parchment that is partially faded. It seems to be a deed to the property of, and it's kind of like blanked out where the name of it is, but it says keep. So like there's something supposed to be something before it, and it's like keep.
Okay.
And the location seems to be in the southern Freelands. Zai, that rings a very discordant bell for you.
Going home, guys.
Oh boy.
Make a history check for me.
History check. 16.
Okay. Are you gonna add one of your dice to it?
I will, and I feel this is very important to me. So plus
Wow.
12.
Fuck.
Holy shit.
So that's a 28.
28.
Okay, let me
Let me just
Let me
send
tell
you my
everything.
notes.
just send you my Google Doc.
I have just suddenly discovered the entire history of the Freelands.
Yes, I remember when the Freelands began, and I remember everything up to now.
In the mountains.
I
No.
remember when the Freelands were just the lands.
They weren't even free yet.
So, Zai, this brings back a flood of memories. You remember the druid in your tribe telling stories of this keep, of how it was rumored to be haunted, abandoned for thousands of years.
Oh, good.
How it was essentially a forbidden zone to your people and all of the wandering tribes of the Freelands. It's basically a, you do not go here no matter what the fuck your reason is.
Did it have a name?
It didn't. There was supposedly in her stories, there was a name for it long ago, but the name has been lost to time. Now, you being the curious person that you were when you were younger, and just from being very close friends with the druid, you got a few more details about the place itself. You understood this to be a full-size, like, military keep, capable of housing nobility as well as their own personal army. Very large in size, great wall surrounding it, a vast outer courtyard as well as a smaller inner courtyard. Apparently there is a moat that surrounds the inner keep. From what you recall, No one has gone in or near it, as obviously it's forbidden, but the stories are that it has long been held by undead creatures. And thus lies abandoned.
So if it's been abandoned for this long, what condition would it be in? Like falling apart or still decent? To the best of my knowledge, I guess.
To the best of your knowledge and from your understanding of how stone and metals and everything work, it works together quite well for you being a blacksmith, actually. Your best guess is that things like the portcullises, any of the metallic stuff that would be involved in the structure, at least those exposed to the elements, probably have a solid amount of rust and are going to need some heavy-duty cleaning. The foundation is probably still solid because these things were meant to last through sieges. It's probably fallen into disrepair. There's probably stone that needs to be, like, covered over, repaired. There could potentially be parts that are caved in or closed off or just weakened. But it's hard to say without actually being present and being able to, like, appraise it.
Okay. This one happened to be that one keep down in Freelands that's, full of undead and haunted and stuff that no one's allowed to go to because you die. Won't be that one, would it?
Indeed, that is the one I speak of. That is the deed for that property.
Oh, interesting.
Uh-huh.
Which means that that property, officially now, as my grandfather has signed it over, that property belongs to the guild.
Interesting. So we are to pack up and move and take over this new unit.
Well, understand that we have things that need to be handled here. I need to get in contact with the other members. And there are a few other things I need to deal with. It's a lot for us to be moving. Now, that being said, I am not forcing you to take this job. You are welcome to choose any of the 4. If you decide that this is your job to take, then indeed you are welcome to go. I would ask that you clear out the keep, secure it, make sure that it is prepared so that within a month's time we can move in without harrying from undead or the like, or whatever creatures may be holed up within there.
Out of curiosity, is there any payment for that one?
There's no payment other than what I will say will be our permanent home. I will... Well, if I'm being completely honest with you here, the fact that we own a keep will give us political influence. We will have property. And we will have positions that will need to be filled for other things besides just adventuring. We will be able to hire on underlings, hire on personal guards, be able to take on bigger jobs, potentially attract new members due to the fact that we now have a new keep. It's a sign of power. It's a sign of wealth. It's
so no direct payment, but since we're part of the guild and the guild owns it, it's going to benefit us in lots of other ways.
Correct.
Precisely.
What it lacks in wealth, it makes up for in reputation, in power, in words.
What do you two think about just taking the keep job?
The only suggestion that I have so far is maybe taking one job before it. This is in the Freelands. It's far south. We should take the job that's closest up here first.
Talk about the Amber Scar one?
Yeah, you said something about Taka? Someone in Taka?
In Taka, there are villagers that have been disappearing lately.
Yes. We might want to investigate the disappearing villagers in Taka, since that'll be a point that will be very far away from us later on. Hopefully it won't take too much time, and once we take care of that, then we go down to the keep and situate that.
So
It would be-
Talk is about 3 days walk from here, right?
1, 2, yep, 3 days.
And we have to be out of Shayla's in a month.
Right.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's about 11 days up to Taka, and then all the way directly down to the keep.
Where is the keep?
Well, I'm guessing it's
Far
this.
south.
I'm guessing it's this ruined thing here.
You would be correct.
Ah, okay, cool.
As you guys are discussing this, you hear what sounds like like lighthearted humming from outside, and then you hear boom, boom, and you see the doors behind you kicked open.
Excuse me. How
Uh,
rude.
sorry, hang on. Want to make sure I don't fuck up the name or description.
Welcome to the free company. How can we help you?
Well, howdy.
Good day to you.
Good
I was
eye.
just gonna start taking on.
So, standing
Zai's
in the
accent.
doorway of the hall, you see what appears to be a very peculiar looking tiefling. She stands about 5'6". She's got purple skin with grayish white hair that reaches just above her shoulders. She's wearing what seems like chainmail armor. And on her side, she has a rather interesting looking mace in the shape of a droplet of water.
Whoa.
Looks like a water paladin.
You can make that decision yourself.
Okay.
And she just comes skipping and hopping into the room, humming. And she stops next to you guys and looks at Dalus, and she goes, "Hi there,
Oh, hi.
Dalus. Who are these people?"
I
Nice to meet you. We're new recruits. Just got back from
Oh.
killing a dire boar.
Dalus just kind of like sits back and goes, well, yes, why don't you get introductions? I suppose those are in order. And she looks at you as you say, "Hi, we just got back from killing a dire boar."
I'm Zai, by the way.
Zai, it is nice to meet you. I am Faith. And she holds out a hand and gives you a very firm handshake.
I'll give it right back.
It seems like she probably has strength to rival your own.
I like her.
And you two?
I am Professor Elowin Silvermane,
Boring. Next.
I really like her.
and you are quite rude.
Who are you? Small one.
Hey, Milo. Hey.
Hi. I have not seen one of your kind before. You are very interesting. Are you
Oh,
like
yeah.
it? Are you like it? And she like crouches down in front of you, like on her knees, like she's got like her knees, her chest up in her knees and everything. And she's like, I have never seen one of your kind before. And she's like poking at you. What are you? Are you like a tiny dragonborn?
Kind of. Kobold.
He's called a kobold, ma'am. He's called a kobold.
Oh.
They are draconic in nature.
I'm from the frozen wastes.
Oh, you're from up north. Oh, okay.
Originally.
Alright, I thought you were from a ship.
Well, you know, new homes.
Oh, okay. Well, hi, I'm Faith.
Hi, nice to meet you.
I am a cleric of water. The water god. It is, nice to meet you all.
Nice
You
to meet
too.
you.
Everyone else seems to have a job around here. What do you do?
Well, fuck. If I wasn't sick, it'd be so much easier to do this fucking voice. Fuck. Well, I'm, what you might call an all-around person.
an all-around rude person, maybe, but
Yes,
Eli,
well,
there's no need to be rude.
thank you.
He just side eyes you.
listen, I tried to be polite, and she was quite. Look.
It is okay.
First,
it's
she
okay.
kicked the door in. That was rude. She scoffed at my introduction, which was also rude. There's no need for the rudeness here.
To be fair, it was going to happen anyways.
Still no need for it. It's uncalled for.
Well, if the God of Order demands it, then perhaps it is. Things will be as they will be.
Well, there's no need to be rude, regardless. Rudeness, well, we're not in my classroom, but usually I would say rudeness has no place in my classroom. But I guess the world is really my classroom.
Well,
So there's no...
You're in for a rude awakening then, sir.
Why?
He just shakes his head in disgust at this point.
So, what's going on here, Dalus? And you see Dalus just kind of look at the letter, look at the deed, and he just kind of grabs them and hands them to her. And she starts reading through, just kind of like humming, just... Oh. She like looks at you guys out of the corner of her eye, looks back at the paper, and looks back at you guys. Are you sending them?
Well, we want to do it, but we're not sure if we want to do it first.
Oh, you know, I could help. I could do it. I could not by myself, but I could help. I'm a cleric. It's what I do. Undead are kind of my shit. They're kind of my shit. It's what I do. You know.
And so,
It would be handy.
You see Dalus kind of... Well, about that, if they're going to be doing this, the keep and everything, then I had hoped that you might be able to take on the issue of the sick child in the Farthorn Barony, Faith. Being a cleric, it is in your disposition to heal, as it were. And she just kind of like, yeah, I suppose, but it's kind of boring. And I mean, if the kid is sick, if he gets better, then he gets better. If he's going to die, then he's going to die. It's just kind of the way of things. I mean, that's it's what happens. I mean,
I lied about where I am from.
But
Oops.
if you can heal the boy or girl, I don't remember if he said, if you can heal the child, then why would you not attempt? If you've been given gifts, why not try at least? What harm would it come?
I could certainly try it, but it's kind of boring. And I mean, you guys are going to fight undead, and it's going to be so exciting and invigorating. And we haven't had the job like this in a while. I mean,
Why don't you do that? We go up to Tundra?
what? Do you want me to go get the keep by myself?
No, I think what my small friend here is saying is that you go see what you can do about that child. We'll go up to Taka for some other mission, and then we'll meet back here and we can go take care of the keep.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Let me see. And she pulls out a map as I pull up the map.
I lied about where I am from. I'm not from the frozen wastes. Different snow place, it looks like.
Tundra?
Kazan Tundra, yes. My bad. Retcon.
Good job, Neil.
Oh god.
Well, I suppose it'll take me about 6, maybe 7 days to get to Eastbourne. I could try and see if I can cure the child and see what's going on with that. And luckily, if it's a 1-day thing, then I can just come back here, which means it's going to take about 12 days. So then it'll take another 6 for us to get down to the keep. So that's about 18 days. So that leaves us about 12 days that we need to clean it out before we need to get all of our shit here. But the thing is if it's going to take that long, then so it's going to be sit down another 6 up. So it's
Eli
going to
is
be
like
cutting it very close.
Eli is like doing the thing, like he's like, I mean, her math adds up.
It's going to be very close. I mean, if you're willing to do it, we're going to have to leave like today. Or at least I'm going to have to leave today. I suppose you guys don't really need to leave yet if you don't want to, but I mean,
You
don't be
said
lazy.
you said it'd take you about 12 days to get there and back.
Yes, because it is about a 6-day journey there, and then if it's like on that date when I get there, then I can cure the child, then I can come back here. If it takes me longer, then it takes me longer.
Alright. How about you two can pitch in too? How about we meet back here in 12 days? If you're not here, we'll go on without you since we're on such a tight schedule.
That is up to you.
What do you two think?
If we make really good time, we could maybe go right here close to the Emberscar Grove while we wait.
Yeah, we could.
Dalus pipes in. That actually sounds like a very good idea. I would be most excited to have 3 jobs completed at once. That would completely wipe the slate clean.
Birds and stones, you know? Lots of them.
Right.
You know, that saying around here is a little peculiar because, I mean, why not just use a bow and arrow and all that? And if you can kill 2 birds with 1 arrow, I mean, spectacular, but...
Yeah, you ever heard of slingshot?
Yes, but nobody uses that barbaric technology anymore.
I've been to the Freelands recently, have you?
I can't say that I have now.
Easy to make, all over the place.
Fair point. Note taken.
So, let me get this straight. She will go to Eastbourne. We will make our way through the Emberscar Grove to take care of the one job. Head to Taka for the other job. Then make our way to this keep and finish it off there, which would essentially knock out all of our jobs.
Except I think we're flipping what the order we're doing Taka and Emberscar. Emberscar's in case we have extra time.
Oh, I see. Okay.
That's the curiosity one.
Right.
Right, not to mention, you're supposed to come back here to Shayla's after all that is done, and wait the 12 days, and if I come back, then great, and if not, then you go on without me. Which don't do, because that's going to be really boring. I'm going to come back here, and then there's going to be nothing to do.
Well, if you get back after 12 days, and we're not here, you know where we are. You can come meet us.
You hear Dalus kind of just... What do you mean there's not going to be anything to do? There's plenty of things to do. There's going to be... We have to pack up all of our things, and we need to make sure that we're packed up and ready. We need... There are preparations to be made with the locals.
I have an idea. It's what, a 3-day journey from here to Millen Thalor, right? Which is where the college is.
Yep.
Would I know of any contacts at the college that I could maybe give her, their information that could maybe potentially, instead of taking like all that time for her to travel to Eastbourne, maybe she could go to the college, throw my name out there, someone who could potentially like teleport her, which would be quicker.
Roll me a history check.
Okay. Well, if I could get my character sheet open. Do you want me to use my new level 2 thing?
Sure.
Okay. That'll give me double proficiency on this.
It will. I almost forgot that was your thing.
I'm super excited. So, plus another 2, so 23.
You're aware that there is a researcher on the college grounds that has access to a rune of teleportation within Whitebridge. So it is definitely possible to have her teleported there, and then she could just travel the rest of the way to Eastbourne. So that's an option.
Okay.
Yeah, I would tell her that.
That is a good idea. I do like that. The only concern is that if I show up in Whitebridge using their rune of teleportation, they're going to ask what I'm doing there. And it sounds like these nobles the lesser nobles in Eastbourne don't want this getting out.
Right.
I could try, but if I have to start lying, I'm not a very good liar.
Understandable.
It's
Tell
kind of
them it's confidential.
it's kind of against my ways, unless it's dictated by the god of water. Then yeah, I will lie if I have to, but it's a bit tricky. The god of water is it's interesting how to follow their ways.
Would there be some way for you to acquire like a horse or a mount that may be able to speed up your travels, since teleportation may not be the best way?
No, I'm kind of poor, like the rest of this guild.
I think the time frame should be fine. 12 days. If she's not back, we'll head on. Gives us time to finish up with our business in Taka if we don't finish that fast anyway.
Great. It's a plan then. Well, it was nice meeting you all, and I hope to see you here in 12 days.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance, babe.
Yeah. Eli gives that, pleasure was all mine kind of thing. He's still very upset about her rudeness. But he tries to play nice, at least.
Well, farewell. And she starts humming and skipping and goes right back out the door. And you see Dalos going, "No, wait, you forgot the..." Oh, for fuck's sake. And, he reaches under, grabs the flyer, or, the sheet for the job, and, goes running out after her. And
Eli stands there and chuckles to himself.
That's where we're going to end tonight's session of Aranthea's Awakening.
Nice.
Yeah, 2 sessions in a row went over. I'm happy.
It was a lot of stuff to do, so...
Oh, man, I can make level 2! Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah, I get accent surge. That's it.
Right, well, let's go around then, find out where we can find everybody, find out what their favorite part of tonight's session was, and then we'll wrap things up for the night. Again, let's go down the row. So, Kyle.
You can find me on Twitter and here on Twitch, streaming a little bit here and there, at Rage Quit Kyle. That's quit with KWIT. And I'm usually streaming with Neil and Arch and Onyx on Arch's channel here, playing Overwatch and Sea of Thieves and whatever other silliness we can get into.
And
somebody is typing away very, very fast.
Moving down the row here, Neil.
You can find me on Twitter at Bardic Martin. You can find me here when we play games. You can find me on my Twitch when I do those things very rarely, also at Bardic Martin.
All right, and how about you, Onyx?
I am Onyx. You can find me on Twitter occasionally at OnyxQWE. Favorite part was not dying to the wolves.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, my favorite part was probably getting to use my little owl to cast that spell. Even
though you ended up fucking up Ilo with it?
Yeah.
And Ilo getting crushed by wild animals twice.
I'm highly enjoying having to play an intelligent character who's having to actually think about what's going on, being tactical and shit like that.
It's good. It's fun. As for myself, you can find me on Twitter at arch_DND. You can find me also tweeting quite often on the Lucky Die podcast account at TLDpod. Myself and Neil are both on the Lucky Die podcast as players, so if you haven't, go check that out. It's a lot of fun. We play D&D on there.
We do play D&D.
You can also find me here every single night on twitch.tv/arch_DND. Every night I'm pretty much playing some form of video game, whether it's Overwatch, Sea of Thieves, or whatever the hell else. And then every night we're here Sundays starting from midnight EST till roughly 3 a.m. EST, where we play this game, Aranthea's Awakening.
Woohoo.
I think my favorite part was... Oh, God.
Oh,
no. I liked the RP in general tonight. Like, it was just very fun. Like, I was really enjoying it.
The 3 crits in a row.
The 3 crit, yep. That was definitely a highlight.
How even?
Zai being right as rain.
That fucking killed. I think that might actually have to be my favorite part. Oh man,
That is right.
that fucking killed me.
Well, we're at the end of the stream. I'm not going to end it just yet, since it seems we have a new member in the chat who has questions. However, that being said, if any of you guys need to dip, that is cool. I'm going to take just like 2 minutes here and just address the questions here. So could I go over a short synopsis of what's gone on? So basically, long and short of it is, in session 0, we did 3 smaller sessions of like 1 hour each, where we met our individual characters. So Eluin, Ilo, and Zykirin, where we, in Eli's backstory, discovered that his co-worker at the college that he works at was once an adventurer, and she basically sends him off in her place to travel to Midwood. Ilo is on a pirate ship that is attacked. We discover that Ilo is a chef's assistant on the boat, and he is essentially sent in place of the captain of the ship to go to Midwood and meet up. And Zykirin is the apprentice of a blacksmith who basically tells him to travel to Midwood as well to meet up with this group, because the Dwarven Kingdom has officially declared war on the Realm of the Ascended, seeking a resource called Bright Steel, which is essentially the world's like most valuable resource in that it's a magical metal. Last session was the party meeting up. They met in Shayla's, which is in the center of Midwood, where they attempted to join the Free Company, which is an adventuring guild that is kind of separate from the normal political current circumstances. They were able to, after a reading with a psychic, Madame Grish, they were able to essentially be accepted on the stipulation that they perform a trial, which is what tonight's session was. The trial was them hunting down a dire boar. That being said, if you would like to watch the full thing, I highly recommend checking out the VODs that are here on the channel. All 3 of them should be there so that you can go back and watch. It's a lot of fun. And yeah, spread the word. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your friends' family, tell your family's friends. Because I'm only 3 followers away from becoming an affiliate.
Woo!
That being said, now I'm going to end the stream because my throat is starting to hurt, and I need to go to bed because I have work tomorrow.
Same here. My mom and dad right now.
Do it.
Bright Steel sounds very powerful. It is, and we'll be exploring that more later on in the next couple sessions.
I hope I get to check it out.
Who knows? We'll see. Thank you all very much for watching and listening in Ryan's case. And have a good night.
Bye.
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 Kyle, say bye.
Bye. Sorry, I was typing bye.